Damn, Kenny's hood as hell. He just said that.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, you're lucky the mics weren't on yet. Nah. Kenny said something.
Yeah, hold on. So it was off, right?
Yeah, it was off. Welcome, everybody, to the Faction After Hours podcast. We're here to bring you another episode
This shit kind of
and another guest.
Yo.
Yeah, turn me down.
We have Kenny Bascon, or Baskin,
Bascon.
however you pronounce it, a.k.a. the Racing Realtor, and a good friend of mine.
Hey.
Yeah, hey, what's up?
What's good, bro?
Malcolm. Get
Thank
the
you,
audience
thank
going.
you.
There we go.
Thanks for having me, guys.
There we go. It's great to have you on. I feel like we've been friends for a long time, but I feel like it's always like quick conversations, like when we're like out somewhere hanging out.
Doing car stuff.
Yeah, doing car stuff.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be pretty cool to get to know you because I feel like we're gonna. Have you and Frankie ever met before?
Yeah, a few times.
We probably did meet a few times, but
He
the
was
last
probably
time,
doing reckless
I'm gonna
stuff,
kill
right?
a gnat right in the beginning of this
It's right here.
podcast.
It's right behind me. It just.
Okay. Yeah, we met at officially. I think we met at. Is it Weekfest or Weckfest?
It's
think it's-
Wacky Fist.
Yeah, I think it's Weckfest.
Weckfest, right?
Don't look at me
know.
like I know.
Chris, what do you
The
you say?
hell?
Weekfest, right, Chris? Yeah.
I call it week. I call it Week Fest because of Chris.
Well,
I
Chris
call
is
it
a car show
Weckfest,
guy,
but I
that's
think
why.
I think it is Weekfest.
Because
Yeah.
there's those two little.
little things above the.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Somebody give us a phonetic spelling of it.
Anyway,
But,
that's
yeah.
where we met officially. But I've probably known you for like 10 years, and we just didn't really meet, right?
Yeah. It's
Wow.
been a while.
Because I've been going to
Fist bump.
Central things. Like I remember we drifted once with
In motion.
yes.
Yes. Yep. That was I have a story for that. It's kind of cool because this past weekend Import Expo did their show in the Javits Center on Sunday. Yesterday. Wait, no, what's today?
Oh really?
Today's Wednesday?
Wait, for real?
Yeah, so they did a show over there and In Motion
I
was
didn't even know that.
theoretically and someone could correct me, but I'm pretty sure that we were the first car show / like motorsport like combo event. And then afterwards a lot of people started doing it. But that was like the whole idea. The whole idea was to bring the car show and quality cars to the track. So we did
and
road
do
racing.
motorsport stuff at the same
Yeah.
time.
So it was
Okay.
called Emotion, and that was like the
Okay.
first test. And Brett from Import Expo was actually our partner on that
Okay.
at the time.
Was that the first one that I went to? It was
for a
2000.
drift-
Yeah, for drifting.
I think it was like what was that 2014?
Probably.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Wait, so it wasn't always called Central? Are you saying In Motion was what it was before, or this is a completely
A
separate thing?
So Central is the brand
Mm-hmm.
and the idea, but In Motion was the event.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it was called In Motion because it was the
Damn,
whole
that's
point.
a nice name.
Yeah, it was dope, man. It was good.
That's sick.
But
got
the
to-
event was really bumpy. So
Can you?
Yeah, we
can
got
you
to
explain
drift on,
what Central is? Like,
Alright.
because
Yeah.
to our listeners who don't really know, we actually have listeners from all over the world. This guy who lives in the UK, I'm gonna butcher his name, but just know that this is for you, homie. Every time I post a picture of my car, he just responds to the two words, "blue waffle."
that's dope.
And the first one said blue waffle from the UK, and I was like, what the fuck?
That is sick.
So
We named.
yeah, we
this-
have listeners everywhere. So if
We
you were
named
going
his car the Blue Waffle.
Oh yeah, that's
no,
good to know.
no,
I mean,
no.
He doesn't like it.
We're skipping.
But for some reason, people know this. So
Because everybody knows what that is.
I know,
If you
it's
grew up
just-
with the internet,
it's just funny.
actually, maybe some people don't know what it is, and
Wait.
you shouldn't know what it is.
What, a blue waffle?
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
that, yeah, don't.
it's all right, Kenny.
Don't look it up.
No?
No.
Oh, so the name is not dope.
No.
No.
Yeah, the name's not dope.
It's not sick.
because
Oh,
they all
okay.
made like funny names. Like he named my car the Silver Sea Cow.
No, Chris did.
So one of these assholes named it that. And
Chris
then
did. Or
AJ. Well,
AJ
AJ's AJ would make sense because his cars they named it the Copper
Nickel is the other S13.
So anyway, I was like,
Then the Red Trout was first, I think.
yeah. So anyway, I was like, Carl, you're the Blue Waffle, and I said it on the podcast once, and that was it.
Interesting.
Now
Ridiculous.
everyone's-
So now I'm going to have to Google it later.
No.
Yo, everyone listens probably Google
Not with
it.
a client. Not with a client. But if you had to explain to somebody who's never really heard about the East Coast car scene, what would you explain Central to be?
So Central actually started, and I'm going to sound real old right now.
That's fine. I know you might not look it, but I know you're a lot older than me, so I'm
Yeah,
curious
I'm
what
pretty
you.
old.
you
Actually,
were-
I don't feel old.
All right.
But if
Well,
you
that's
ask
good.
my daughter, she'll say I'm very old. So I guess.
You're
so,
like Frankie's age.
No.
Oh damn, Frankie! You trying to say I'm old?
How old are you?
I'm 46.
Yeah, motherfucker. I'm 32. All right, Carl?
But he looked great.
Dude, this guy's a dick.
He looks amazing though.
Do your
Yeah.
friends make fun of you too at your age? Because my friends do, and I'm
My-
32.
They make fun of me all day.
Oh
all
my
friends.
god.
Look, man, they're not moving around like you do. Okay, Kenny lifts and shit.
Yeah.
Well, we
46. I think I'm gonna be lifting a taco into my mouth,
Listen,
which
man.
I might do later.
I know some people that are in their 70s, and you see them, and you'll think that they're 40,
Really?
and they lift, and they've been lifting for years consistently, and that's like my motivation. You know, I want to be that guy that's like 70, 80 years old, and you see him, he's like, how old is he? 45.
Yeah, you feel young still, so
Yeah.
that's the key.
Still moving. Yep.
One of these days.
But
I'll get
so
back in the gym.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Central.
oh, so Central.
Damn, that was a quick tangent.
Yeah, it's
we're,
all good.
We're good at those.
We can get back to that if you ever want to talk. I mean, I love lifting.
We
too,
will
so.
be back.
We
to
will
it.
be back to that because
Yeah.
Frankie.
Whoa,
I'm trying to get
what?
Frankie.
Frankie
to,
wants to lift.
Nah, because
No,
Frankie's
We
a
can go
very,
after this.
I
We
just,
wanna-
dude, he wants to go at the gym after this.
I'm probably
Malcolm,
gonna
what's
go to
up?
the gym after this.
No.
I'm drinking C4 right now.
Hey, we can go to the gym after this.
No,
Okay. All right.
Well,
Central,
actually,
Central.
But I saw you lifting before.
I do lift occasionally.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it when I need it.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm just like, God damn it, what am I doing in here?
Yeah, Carl, I thought you were staying
I'm not,
hard,
like-
man. I thought you were staying hard.
I'm
and
not
going to the gym.
tiny, you know.
Yeah,
Could still pick stuff up.
Nah, you look strong, bro.
But yeah, I mean, it does take a certain amount of discipline, and I feel like that stems from like years and years of what you've been doing. So like going back to Central, like
All
does
right.
it, what was this like something that you just decided to start with like friends and stuff? Or?
So it's gonna sound funny over here, but this was in 2004.
2004. Okay, I wasn't
That-
born yet.
Yeah, so the idea, that's why I figured it sound funny.
No,
So
I'm just kidding.
yeah,
I was born.
Well, there were some people that weren't like that. Probably.
Yeah,
listening.
no, there are, and that's why I like these.
How old were you,
stories.
Carl?
I was 9.
Oh,
Oh,
my.
that's not too bad.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
already
alright.
knew what shit was. I knew what a 98 GSR was.
Hey.
Yeah, he was talking about it in like 5th grade and shit.
There you go.
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten, yeah.
But-
Forgot.
So back in the day, even before 2004, I used to be, I used to street race a lot. That was
That was the thing.
that
I
was the
said
thing.
that to Frankie. I was like, yo, I'm pretty sure Kenny used to like, they
So-
had. I asked people what to bring up, and they said a lot of street racing. So I'm like,
that was my. Can I curse or no?
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I just
Fuck.
want to make sure. So that was my shit. Like when I used to street race, we're talking about Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It was always a spot to go to. I mean, and it was almost like a schedule. Like we always, unless there was something planned, like a money race, or we had to go to,
damn.
Connecticut. We went to Massachusetts. Like if there was different places to go to, otherwise we knew exactly where we were gonna be, looking for runs, setting up runs at all the different spots. And it was weird because even like, I made my work around street racing. Like made sure that I worked a certain time so that I could be available to go out at night. Yeah.
damn, that's fucking
around
legit.
what area? It was it all New York? Or?
So it was, okay, so let me just think about the.
Think about
My-
you got like nicknames or anything like that. You don't want to blow
Yeah.
up the spot,
No, I don't
Unless,
care.
unless
I
these
mean,
are out of commission, it's done.
I'll be honest with you. So in 2003, I think it was Fast and Furious came out.
Yeah.
That was pretty
Tokyo Drift, right?
No,
No, that was the first one.
that was the original.
2003?
Yeah.
2001, I think.
Or maybe 2001. It might have been
2001.
2001. Everything's kind of a
think
blur right now.
Something like that.
Regardless, early
2004
2000.
or 5 is Tokyo Drift.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
that's what it was.
2001. Oh my God, everything's a blur right now.
That's fine.
I'm
you
sounding
could-
old right here.
Yeah,
No.
Frankie's the only one.
I'm the only
I
one that cares
appreciate the
about
effort,
years.
but
All right.
early 2000s,
Early
it came out.
2000s. I can tell you that we street racing wise and where we were at. I mean, Sundays and Wednesdays was usually in Car Club in Rockland. Thursday nights was 100% over in Central Avenue because it was Car Club. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Nathan's, but back in the day, Nathan's on Central Avenue was like for decades was like a very big spot for bikes, for cars to set up races, and so that's kind of where the name Central came from too.
Oh.
Yeah, because Central Avenue, that's where I grew up too, and we used to always set up runs, and there was a lot of people used to come out. It was pretty wild,
And you could get a hot dog.
and you could get a hot dog while setting up a run.
Fuck.
Yeah, so it was pretty good, and they had good cheese fries. So
Yeah. Damn, that
Um,
sounds legit. What was it? what was it even like with like authority back then? Like it was cops getting really involved with that? Like, do they know what's going on and they're just like, all right, this is gonna probably be done in a little while?
So the reason I brought up Fast and Furious is I think that was the time when street racing started to die.
We've
what
heard
makes
that.
you say that?
Because street racing brought unwanted attention. I'm sorry, Fast and Furious brought extra attention to a culture that was, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
So like if you know about street racing, if you're involved in it, it's because you love cars, you love competition, you know who the players are, you know where to go. All of a sudden, everyone wants to be a street racer.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to mod a car. And like people that don't know anything about cars associate it with a movie that, even though it was really entertaining and it was nice to watch, was kind of corny.
Yeah, and to be honest, that feels like what's going on now with drifting and
Yeah,
takeovers.
with takeovers. But I don't know if you've noticed this, but you're like the fourth or fifth person out of the guests that we've had that said that.
Oh yeah,
The first one ever was Jason
Jason Kim from Rival.
from Rival, and he said like, oh no, that shit like blew up the spot. Pro Shop Noble said the same thing.
Yeah, the older crew feels like Fast and Furious was pretty much, like you just said it. It was like, yeah, it was cool, but it kind of ruined a lot of stuff.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. It ruined it. I mean, obviously you have street racing now, but it's not the way it used to be.
Yeah, dude, I haven't heard about. I mean, we're also like isolated because once we got into drifting, you don't really hear
Different
about
culture.
street racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a totally
They
different.
kind of flood into each other. Now it's pretty easy to flood into each other because you check up on your friend and they're doing street racing shit, and you're like, oh, cool.
Yeah, you
I
could
used to
go live at the middle of the night to go see what's going on.
I used to go to 59 and see street races over
All
there.
right, so that's car club.
That's the
Okay.
one. That's
Yeah.
the one by my parents' house that I know that a few
Yeah.
of my friends used to go to.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
But
let
then
me
once
tell
we
you.
started drifting, I was like, I just assumed it stopped, but it's like I just stopped going.
Oh, everybody's
Like-
switching
Going,
now.
yeah,
yeah.
They're going to drifting.
No,
Yeah.
car club was definitely Sundays and Wednesdays.
Yeah.
That's when we went out
Oh, I
there,
do
yeah.
kind of remember that too.
Yeah, Sundays and Wednesdays.
What was your weapon of choice? What was your ship?
So I really, like, everyone used to know me because of my license plate,
Oh God.
which is Mad JDM.
Oh wait.
So you might hear jokes about, oh, Mad JDM. Mad
Yeah, it
JDM.
says it right there. Tito JDM.
Oh, there
That's
you
from
go.
Mikey. Hi, Mikey.
Yeah, because, Mad JDM was on my first Evo, 2003. But I was
That's-
racing before then.
That's an 8.
That's an 8, yeah. But it only became well known because that was the car that I used to race a lot with. But before then, I was racing. I had a GTI that I used to race with. And
What was your first car?
So my first car was a 1999 Honda Civic Si in Electron Blue Pearl.
That's nice as fuck.
Yeah.
What the hell?
99, brand new. That was my first car.
My uncle took me on a test drive once in one of those.
Really?
Yeah. I felt VTEC so hard.
But how old were you then?
That's probably 6 or 7 when that thing came
That
out.
thing
wonder
probably
you
felt
knew
like
everything.
a beast, right?
Huh? That thing felt sick.
It was slow
We had a
as shit.
Passat. No, we didn't have a Passat. We had a like a fucking Ford Aerostar or some shit at home. Every time I got in that car, it made me throw up.
What, the Ford?
The Ford.
Oh, the
We
Ford.
had they returned it. I think my parents returned it because of that. They're
Wait,
like, this
why?
kid's just throwing up in here.
No
The
reason.
Ford Aerostar, it smelled like the Ford Aerostar smelled like if you took a big Windex bottle and filled it up with new car scent and just sprayed it so hard.
That sounds
Oh, my
amazing.
God.
And like to me, that smell is like nauseating.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
why I buy used cars,
So,
baby.
so it's funny you mentioned that. My Type R was down in Fortunato. Yo, shout out to the guys at Fortunato.
Oh yeah, casually.
And
yo.
they gave me a loaner.
Your car was just there? What are they doing, coilovers? and
So
stuff?
the coilover. It was the R&D
Damn.
car for their
Yeah.
500, 510 coils and their height adjustable springs.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
But they gave me a loaner car, and it just the smell was like, you know what it is? They put this air freshener inside there.
we
and-
got those.
and I think I'm allergic to it.
Oh, never mind.
there was like 5 of them
They're
inside there.
away.
Yeah, yeah. And every time I
no.
drove the car, I just felt super duper sick, and
Ah.
my skin was tingling.
Oh,
I'm very
God.
sensitive. Yeah, it was pretty bad. But I mean, the car drove great. You know, it's
Just
just
made
the
me
air
sick
freshener.
as fuck though.
Yeah, I had to drive with the windows open, so
I don't know. That's a Filipino thing. I
Well, at
think.
least
you
you
guys
didn't
are,
have to-
You
I
guys are
think-
both sensitive.
I guess you didn't. I get motion sickness really bad. If
I
you're on
think
the
it is a Filipino thing though.
For-
Maybe because I never.
It may be, dude. No, not even gonna lie. I've never had a friend who's white getting motion sickness.
I've never gotten motion
They're out there.
sickness either.
My friends would be in the back seat doing backflips and shit, and the slightest movement in the car that's wrong for me, and it's toast.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
mad funny.
It's toast. And then I'm being brave about it too.
Damn, that Evo though.
But
I want to know more about that Evo.
So it's funny. Like with the Evo, it wasn't even that fast, man.
No.
nah,
Were
you probably had no
one
wing
of those
on it.
guys that? Because I remember this from all the street racing stuff. It'd be like, yeah, stock turbo. Like,
I was stock turbo.
yeah, of course you were. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what they all the Evo
I
guys.
was stock turbo. So this is the thing with the
Yeah, but the
streets.
stock turbo is like a
20G or some shit. 18G.
Yeah, it's
I
like an
think.
18,
Yeah.
like equivalent to like 18.
That's
But
small.
what were all the tricks? Like, what would you do?
You know what the trick is on
Yeah,
the
give us
street?
the old school tricks, because
The trick on the street, right,
yes,
is just traction, bro. That's why cars these days, like people, like back in the day, you could race against a Supra, with like 1,000 horsepower or 700 horsepower. And they're not getting traction unless it's a prep surface.
Yeah,
Oh,
And
it's
if they're
not
driving,
hooking.
And they're driving a 6-speed, they were dyno queens. So I used to destroy, and I love Supras, so I'm not talking shit. But like I used to destroy
you talking
Supras.
shit.
Nah, but like it's true though. Like,
Nah,
you
yeah.
know, like if you have traction on the street, they got to play catch up. And if they're not getting traction, so most of the time back in the day, a lot of the races were against people. And don't get me wrong, I would race anyone. But most of the time, and I'm not trying to sound conceited, but most of the time I would win, is because I felt like I was a good driver and I knew what I was up against. So I mean, even though I wasn't really picking my battles, I knew what I was getting into.
Yeah.
So
Do you have cams in that thing? The Evo?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
I knew you did.
yeah. But it's
Tell you
basic.
every.
I'm
Evo
telling you,
owner-
it has no wing.
I'm telling you, every.
Well, the one
Evo
I have
owner-
now does not do it. That's not the original one.
No. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's
You're-
my
I forgot
third one.
you have one now too. God
Yeah,
damn it.
yeah.
But
Oh, you have. Okay, so you had two of them.
you ever
I had
you-
3.
3.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah,
They were all white.
All Evo 8s.
Nah, Evo 8. Then I sold it to a friend. Got an Evo 9. Sold that, and then I picked up an RS a couple of years ago.
Okay.
A friend of ours, and to those of you who don't really know Evos, an RS has crank windows. Does it have AC?
In America we do, but everywhere else they don't.
They don't. And then the radio, it has a radio.
So in America,
we have a radio
We have a radio. Theoretically, I think some people got it without,
without
but
it.
mine came with it because
And no sunroof.
No
Do they-
sunroof.
do any of them come with
no
sunroof?
sunroof, and no sound ending, no rear wiper.
So that's the Evo 8
No,
too,
wait.
right?
Yeah, you could get the Evo 8 in 2004 and 2005. There's an RS.
Yeah.
I used to love those cars, man.
I think
But-
Subaru might have did that for the first year too. For a STI. I remember no radio or something like that.
To be honest with you,
Probably 04, that was it.
He's an Evo guy. Why would he know about Subaru stuff?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Subarus, but I used to
Yeah.
beat them all the time. So
Wait. So
Yeah.
you used to beat him. So like with a stock Evo, wait, can you launch that shit and it'll be fine?
Yeah.
I launched my Subaru once in the snow, and somebody said, "Rip gears,"
No.
and I was like, "What?
No.
You don't think so?"
A Subaru?
I had a WRX.
No, it's
Oh,
fine.
I launched it in the
the
snow.
WRX has.
I mean,
the
that
glass.
trans isn't great.
Exactly.
I think that's what they were talking about,
Yeah.
right there with their weak.
Yeah, but like, it's fine, man.
Launching it on pavement?
Yeah, and that's a little different.
That's what I'm saying. Kenny's
But,
launching
well,
this
the
shit
Evos,
in
it
pavement.
was always the transfer case. That was.
What are you
always-
breaking in that thing?
You're breaking the transfer case. If you do break it, you're breaking. They had this problem with a clip that would pop out, throw bearing clip.
Okay.
Used to always pop out.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you.
How many times that happened to you?
Back then, never.
Damn.
I never.
Was it because of the power? So how much power? The power was probably
My
lower.
car
It
was
wasn't
putting
like
out 350, man.
Damn.
see.
350 running. I think my 8 dynoed at 353, and my 9 dynoed at 374.
And you're just out there beating Supras.
Yeah, because
They just didn't have a good setup.
listen, it's weird back then, and this is why it's kind of cool, but it's not. There was no cameras back then,
Yeah.
so whoever was there will always remember.
Kenny's
You know?
a win's a win.
A win is a win. A win is a win. But no, but we used to race for money though.
Yeah.
So, like if you
That's
were there,
hardcore as fuck.
Yeah,
I
it
would
was-
never. Ever,
what for racing
I
for
would
money?
be so anxious.
Ah,
Like
you
unless
get-
it was like a straight up competition. If it was my money on the line, I'm shitting a brick, and I'm missing third.
it's funny you say that, but then you go drifting in your IS. I think I would be scared to drift.
Racing for money is way scarier, but kind of like more fun.
Like if
than
I was like
just drifting
competing, like
around.
hopefully one day I get to have this feeling. where you're competing for the money, then it's like different.
Yeah,
I'm like,
if you're
I'm giving
competing
my
while drifting,
all.
that's different. I would say.
I'm not dishing my money out.
Yeah.
I barely like gambling. I'd be playing a roulette table.
It's like
the minimum.
gambling, kind of, in a way.
It is gambling, and I like to gamble.
Yeah.
And I think all my friends like to gamble.
Yeah.
So racing for money kind of makes sense to us. You know? And then I like driving. So I guess it all makes sense.
I mean, I agree with you because it's like I remember some kids in high school, they'd be like, "Yo, we're gonna go race tonight." I'd be like, "All right, well, what's the deal?" And they're like, "Oh, we're just going for fun." I'm
you
like,
know-
"You're just going for fun?"
You know what's crazy about
Frankie,
it, though?
Dude, I never got it. I was like, "You're
You
gonna
were
beat the shit out of your car
right off
and risk
the
your
rip.
license for
so,
fun."
So I'm a terrible mechanic, right? I suck at like mechanics. Even though I used to work on my cars back in the day, I don't. All my friends make fun of me because they say I'm better off holding a flashlight.
Okay.
But I'll tell you this: when I drive my cars, if you want to drive and you want to win, you can't give a fuck about your car.
Yeah.
You just got to go and do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And so, like, I have friends that are mechanics.
That's kind of the same with drifting.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
All right. So, like,
you think I'm giving a fuck about the IS when I'm driving that thing?
yeah, you're not giving a fuck. So I have friends that are mechanics, and they'll overthink everything when they're driving because they're thinking about what I could break or what if I do this.
Oh, yeah.
That's
yeah.
Chris.
And
That
so
is Chris.
what happens is, I'm Chris. I mean, not to talk shit, but it probably affects your driving.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, and
definitely.
then you're not happy with the results because you're overthinking everything.
Damn.
So
Kenny's fucking busting us all down.
no. I'm just saying,
Holy
like,
shit.
no. So
No,
like,
that's real.
so
That's fine.
You're probably a really good mechanic then because you're thinking about everything, right?
Yeah.
The best one I know.
And I'm a terrible mechanic. So we all have a place.
But you can hold a flashlight.
I can hold a flashlight.
You can
and
order some food.
I can order some food.
Yup.
And then if you want me to drive, I'm pretty sure I could drive.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, no, that's true though. I just never. They would always go out like every night and just go
Wait.
beat on their cars and get
You know what
pulled
though?
over.
I'm going to tell you something that I really love about racing. It's not just the racing; it's the shit talking.
Yeah.
It's like and it's being with your friends and it's really like a constant bonding moment
Yeah.
when you're with your boys. Everyone has like who has your back. You're there because you love it, and you're talking all this shit. You go out, you race for money. You're with you even when you lose.
Yeah.
Which
I was gonna say, do you have any stories of like a losing moment? I want to hear about
So,
a losing moment. Like what did you lose?
There's probably
to?
so many.
Probably a
Not
spaceship.
saying you lose a lot, but
No,
there's probably so many
okay.
situations.
I used to say this. I used to say this to my boys a lot, and to other people. Like,
If you're not first, you're last.
nah, I used to get tired of winning.
Oh,
Oh,
yo.
Nah, dead
Hey,
ass.
yo.
So like,
This guy.
I don't know if Mikey's in the chat right now, or maybe Gerard. Gerard may disagree because he thinks that he beat me a couple of times doing roll-on races, which don't really count.
No, because I'm in a group chat with them called Pogie Power,
Yeah.
and Gerard does talk some shit to you sometimes randomly. Back in the, I don't know how many years ago we've been in this group chat, but it's happened before,
Me
and
and
I
Gerard
didn't
been
really
racing
get
forever.
that at first.
Gerard is my
Now-
brother, right? Like,
I also again like our conversations, they're usually just passerby conversations.
Right.
So like this is kind of funny for me.
so me and Gerard have been racing. He's been racing for years too.
I know Gerard's a gangster too. He does some hood stuff.
Yeah, he definitely is. And me and him, we just our relationship is about talking shit to each other.
That's fine. That's fair.
Like brothers, and it gets pretty heated. And he thinks he enjoys when he thinks he gets me mad. So
Yeah, that's the goal, right?
yeah, that's the goal. So we have a history of like talking shit.
But
and
you
stuff like
need to remember one time when you guys were all getting ready to go out. Oh, I'm gonna smoke this guy, and then you lost.
I do.
Let's hear that
So
one.
there was this guy. Now let me just give you a perspective. I obviously, well, I don't say obvious because you guys are into like drifting and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. But I used to race during a time when there was crews like High Boost. I don't know if you ever heard of
I
High
remember,
Boost.
yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah,
the
Caesar,
Honda group.
Aki, Rob Maps, rest in peace, to Rob. But I remember these guys when we were just like regular people. No one was really well known. I mean, we were known in the street, but now like everyone kind of made a name for themselves over the years.
Yeah, and social media and everything too.
Social media and stuff like that. But back then, we were just regular people that loved to drive on the street and race and get together. There was this one guy in Nanuet,
Okay.
and his name is Pat, but we used to call him Godzilla.
Okay.
He was this big, tall dude, and he used to drive Mustangs. So I sold my Evo 8, got an Evo 9, brand new, was bone stock, and he saw it, and he goes, "Oh, you got a nice, new Evo," and he had a oh my God, what was it? I think it was a Mach 1 Mustang. It was like a 2004.
Yeah.
2006. And
yeah, I remember that car.
yeah, it was the Mach 1. It was like the first year. It was like I forgot what horsepower it had. Anyway, he baited me into giving him.
Those weren't that fast though, right?
No, but I gave him
Yeah.
too much.
Okay.
So I gave him.
Oh.
Yeah, because he's like, you're all-wheel drive. You know how to drive. You've been
Yeah.
doing this for years. So he was like, listen, he goes, you got all-wheel drive. Even though you're stock, I already know you're going to take me. You should give me X amount. And I was cocky. So I was like, all right, whatever. I'll give you whatever the hell you want, you know? And it wasn't for a lot of
It takes
money.
a grown man to admit.
Listen, I'll talk about every loss I have. I don't care.
That's
I
fine.
just got to try to remember
And
them.
Yeah.
that's perfect.
Yeah. So
So how many cars you give him?
well, it was a car and a half and the brake.
Yeah.
But the problem here is he didn't launch his car. So we line up, right? We had a flagger, and I'm over here waiting for him to launch it. What he does is he eases off real slow, right? So he's a car and a half in front of me already, and he
what
gets
the
the brake.
fuck?
So he eases off real slow. And by the time I realized that,
That
he's
he was
rolling,
even moving.
that he's even moving, he's already like another car. Like,
Yeah.
And so he basically took like even an extra car on top of that. So I launched, and my car wasn't that the stock Evo.
Stock
wasn't that fast.
Evo.
Yeah. So it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
And I think I saw him at the doctor's office. Kind of weird, like a year and a half ago. It was I got into a car accident.
Getting your
right?
colonoscopy
no.
done?
No,
Jesus.
Yeah,
all that
me
my
too.
age, you know.
Me too.
Me too. No, but I saw him over there, and we were just joking around. And to this day, he still thinks it's funny, you know, which it is.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You
If
just-
he hears this, you know,
Y'all just sit down and he just goes, remember when I smoked your ass?
Ooh, yeah.
you know, stuff like that. You kind of never forget though.
Damn, that's funny.
Yeah. So
Yeah, no, but that's because I remember when we would all set up a race with someone, and then
Yeah.
everyone would be excited, like, "Oh, you're gonna, it's no problem, this
Yeah,
and that," and then
yeah.
you go and you just get fucking smoked.
Smoked, I know.
and
yeah.
everyone's like, "Oh," and the whole mood just changes for the rest of the night. It's
It
like, all right,
does, yeah, it
that's
does.
done. Everyone go home.
I think not to talk shit, right? Not to sound conceited.
Nah,
but-
talk your shit. It's cool.
I know, but I'm a humble guy.
I know you are. That's
Oh.
why I know. That's why I look at you and I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, Kenny. I thought Kenny was just like,
Yeah, but he's in his street racing mode
yeah,
right
he's
now.
in
So-
hood mode.
Well,
This is hood.
I just
Kenny.
enjoyed it very much. You know, like I think we had such good memories with me and my boys.
But
even
now
though-
you can live though, which you have been. Like I feel like now you're like, okay,
you know,
I'm
it's
calm now.
It's funny you mentioned that, right? Because I tell all my friends, no, it's very important. Like, and I encourage this for everyone I meet. Live your life with no regret. Like I look back right
That's
now.
my
and-
credo.
yeah, man. Like, go out and do the shit that will make you happy. Like, even if it's kind of crazy. Obviously, don't do anything to risk your life. But, you know, go and live your life. You want to go be a fucking, you know, drifter and do some crazy shit. Go chase after it. Because by the time you have your family and you have real responsibility and now your time is like taken up by more important things.
Yeah.
I look back and let me tell you, I had some crazy things happen that I look back and I'm thankful that I'm alive. It's kind of weird. You know, I joke around with my friends right now. Like, we remember times where, I mean, not over here, we had a lot of street racing incidents, like crazy
Yeah.
shit. Like the cops, I don't even know if I should say this. I'll
It's
say stuff like that.
allegedly.
Alleged-
the cops
allegedly.
allegedly blank.
Well, it was so long ago, it's probably, but like, you know, like back
Yeah,
then.
isn't there like a 10-year thing? You're good. You're good. No cops watching this.
Nah, but like, you know, and it was over 10 years ago. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
We're talking about early 2000s, you know.
Just like chasing you guys and shit.
Yeah, chasing
Yeah.
us or like shit like, you know, there's all these kind of stories that you look back and you just be like, you know, you're thankful that
Yeah.
even the races, the people that we used to just meet up with back in the day. And
Yeah.
yeah. I was about to say, like,
That's sketchy, dude.
I do have some times recently.
Dude, you meet up with some people and you're like, you know, you don't know what they're planning. Like,
Well, so back in the day, obviously, like whenever there's money involved,
Yeah.
you know, you got to make sure that you're with the right people. I remember we raced this one time and we won the race, and they gave like a stack of money, but in between the stack was Monopoly money.
yep.
Yo, so we started counting it, and we were like, "What the hell is
Bruh.
this?" Yeah, so
But now from that moment on, they're known as the guys that are going to give you Monopoly money. So they're
Yeah.
probably.
But
Well-
then now that they're the reason why now everybody has to sit there and look through it and shit. Like I feel like more and more ways to scheme. You know, it became more and more like, not that it isn't like that, sportsman like.
Yeah, street racing,
race
dude.
that it was,
Street racing,
but,
you
like,
don't know who you're fucking with half the time.
sometimes nowadays it's
100%.
sketchy. I feel
Even
like.
back then it was. I mean, I stopped going out to the races because I had an incident that probably scared the crap out of me, you know, and stuff like that. I looked at it as a wake up call. I went home and I was very thankful that I was able to see my family sleeping that day, you know, and it was one of those incidents where I won't get into it, but I was literally like the last guy to leave, and it was probably like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I wasn't even involved with anything. I was just there because my friends were there.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that one of the people you're talking about, that really sketchy people, that they're not even involved with the racing. They're just there with the other side.
That's the worst.
You know?
It's like another bystander.
Well, you know, there's always a lot of underlying drama. And sometimes people get involved that have nothing to do with the racing, but everything to do with the drama. You know? And they come there because of the drama. And because I'm just associated with the other side. They don't even know me. But they just know that that's the other side. I'm by myself. I was the last guy to leave this location. And because of that, it was like a wake-up call. Like, you know, I'm here. I'm okay. Thank God. And everything theoretically worked out.
Yeah.
But, you know, you come across people that will remind you of life, you know, so.
Yeah.
I sound old right now. But
No,
no, that's fine. I feel like,
dude,
I feel like that's
you're
the-
right though.
I feel like that's the shit though. Now that you, thankfully, like everybody's got a phone now.
yeah, there is
like,
pluses and minuses. to
There are
that.
pluses and minuses. Like
Yeah.
with the phone thing, I was gonna say, like, do you think even if Fast and the Furious didn't come out, right? Let's say the saga. I don't even know how many they got right now. 15.
I was watching 10 last night. And
That's crazy to say.
And I couldn't even finish it, man. I had to turn it off.
No, I stopped at
It
5.
gets so. I'll be sitting there now, probably under the influence of something, and I'll look at it and I'm watching this shit. Like, I forget which one this is, but this is where it started to get kind of fucked. Like, they were launching a Dodge Charger and then a parachute came out the back.
Yeah.
And first of all, the trajectory was.
Wait, did they go to space in that one?
No, I didn't even know that. Is that a fucking thing?
I think
Yeah,
they went
yeah,
to space.
yeah.
in
I
one
see
of
these
them.
memes about it, and I'm like, oh, that's funny because Dom jumped off from one bridge to the other bridge. But they actually went to space? Is that?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Stop.
Yeah.
On the 9th one, I think.
We need these guys to go to Mars and figure that shit out.
You should interview those guys.
Yeah.
The guys that actually come up with this shit, man.
But
Yeah.
do you think that with phones and social media now, because I think that no matter what, that's would have happened, that development in our whatever.
Without a
timeline
doubt.
as
Because-
humans.
Yeah, I think that.
I think that street racing would have got blown up.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm even surprised that, you know, people put it out there, right? And maybe I'm sounding old, but people put it out there in the space where you can see everything. And now
Oh, you
just,
mean like today? Like
yeah,
it
like you're-
runs today?
I'm
That,
gonna go race tonight. You know,
Yeah.
here, come watch my video with my
Yeah.
license plate and my face and everything. And,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Kenny's sitting there. These mother.
Well,
Well-
sometimes they do get fucked for that shit.
Well, that's why you got to put a shiesty on.
But it's so random. Like the cops just decide, okay, we're gonna pick this video.
it's time
and
to
fuck
crack
this guy
down.
over.
Yeah, let's crack down this
You
one.
know what a shiesty is, Frankie?
No, I don't think so.
It's a ski mask.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that either. So let's go.
I only found out that word the other day. I've
Yeah.
been saying it so much.
Can I say one thing though?
Yes, let's hear it.
So I enjoy road racing now,
Okay.
and
The evolution.
yeah, the evolution. That's what I do now.
No pun intended.
No, it's all good. Oh yeah, I do race Evo too.
I know you do.
So did you jump to that after that incident? You think?
I took a long break. So
Okay.
so after the incident that I mentioned, that's when going back to Central, that's when I started focusing on doing things that were
Other
not street
outlets.
racing related.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And that was probably like the later, like close to 2010, 2011. And that's when me and my partner, so my partner on Central is Edwin. Shout out to Edwin from Prime.
Okay.
Wow. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So me and him, we started Central, which is originally called Underground. UNDRGRND. That's actually what we registered it as in 2004. I've known it for a long time.
Yeah.
So the whole idea was we wanted to cover underground cultures, including cars. So we used to go to like b-boy events. We used to go to graffiti events, like legit, like meet up with like famous graffiti artists in the Bronx and take pictures and cover them. And it was dope. But obviously cars was our thing.
Yeah.
So it
Like a
evolved.
lifestyle brand more.
That's what it was originally.
It's
you know,
kind of sick.
an urban lifestyle that promotes where we're from, which is New York. But then cars just really blew up. And after I had that incident, I was like, you know what? I love cars. I'm probably gonna take a break from going to the streets. Had a kid, so I was like, you know what? I don't really want to be going out in the middle of the night. And plus, I was getting tired. I don't know if it makes sense, but I was getting tired of staying awake till 4 or 5 o'clock every night.
Yeah. Especially
you're getting tired at
with
5
a
a.m.
full-time
That's
job.
crazy.
I started
Yeah.
working, doing other things, and originally for many years. I mean, we're talking about a long period of time where everything revolved around me going out at night.
Yeah.
So even my wife, like, it's kind of funny because she put up with it for years.
So that was your job, is what you're trying to say?
It was my job. Well, listen, when I met my wife, true story, she used to come out with me everywhere, right? I used to take her to Hunts Point in the Bronx, and she used to sleep in the car. I would park it it would be like 11, 12 o'clock. I would park the car, and unless we were jumping from spot to spot because of the cops, she would sleep in the car, and then she would wake up, and I would be at the line with all the people, and she would just be in the car sleeping, or I'll be racing.
Sleeping?
Yeah. yeah. So she would be with me everywhere. I used to take her to Deer Park, Avenue P. And then one day she woke up. She got really mad because I started racing with someone on doing a pull. And she woke up from the sound and the feel of us racing. And she said that was the last time she'd ever come out. And sure enough, she never came out with me again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
She held that. She held her word.
Oh, yeah, she held it. She held it.
That happened to another friend of mine. Do you remember this, Chris? We had this other friend. His name was Jeff. He would just fall asleep all the time, even behind the wheel. And, like, literally would fall asleep anywhere, dude. And we were driving home, and our buddy, I forgot his name, but he had an EG hatch with a K-Series and, like, a turbo. I didn't really know a lot about cars back then. It was a 62. Anton. Cool dude. Wonder if he's doing all right. But had a turbo on it. And we're driving home from E-Town, where we got kicked out because it ran a sub 10, and there's no cage. So
He got kicked out, yeah.
off the track. Ratchet Fridays. Yes, Chris. Thank you. We were at an event called Ratchet Fridays. Those of you from New Jersey or anybody in the surrounding New Jersey area know. That was like kind of their shot at like giving people track time. You could show up anybody. I think it was like pretty affordable to go run your car. You can call out anybody. And we're on the highway on the turnpike, and the EG's driving, and then a GTR R35 rolls right up next to it. And I'm shitting my pants because I'm like, oh, that's a GTR, and like this is a Civic. I don't really know a lot about cars at this point. And they locked it up, and our boy's sitting in the passenger seat, and and you just hear the EG like, what? And you see Jeff in the passenger. What the fuck is going on?
He was asleep.
Just woke up because
That's mad funny.
ripping from the fucking run. It's a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, did you ever had the EG? The EG smoked
That's
the
what's
GTR.
up. Yeah.
That was sick. We were in an Odyssey. I was underage drunk.
Damn.
It was crazy. Off the wine that I stole from my parents.
Damn.
I remember that day. That shit gave me a headache.
Allegedly.
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 I probably got the motion sickness now that I think about it, because I was probably in that car running around trying to look at this GTR.
Dude, Honda's beating GTRs is sick.
No, but it was
wanna
a
build one,
clean
man.
looking car. That was the thing. Like, I knew what a drag Honda looked like, and it, fucking,
Yeah.
like in the front.
Yeah, they
and
don't
then the
look
back,
good usually. Yeah.
And then, but this one was clean, and he drove it there and drove it home, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's sick. And then after that day, I was like, Turbo K Series, mega fast.
Yeah.
Until this day, they're fucking crazy fast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Did you ever have to run with the 350 horsepower Evo, like successfully? You're like gone
you mean like
From the cops.
from the authorities.
allegedly?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
He's like,
That's
allegedly, yeah.
terrifying. Taking a 300, you could make a 500 horsepower car go fast. Like it's easy to get it up to speed.
Yeah,
Pause.
it's also more dangerous.
Yeah, but 350, you're kind of
You just gotta outsmart
you're giving
them.
it. Oh, she's caught.
Yeah, you gotta outsmart them. That's what it is. Or
I don't know, it's kinda
Outsmart them,
weird,
like get in a
man.
cool down zone, put the cover on, peel the wrap off,
hit the.
It
change
was,
your outfit.
Yeah, it was
Taxi.
definitely a different time though.
Yeah.
It was a time where you didn't have to worry about cameras.
Yeah.
You didn't have to worry about like even allegedly on
Yeah.
cop cars, they didn't have cameras back then. I remember the day that they installed cameras, and they were like, "Listen, when the siren goes
Oh,
off, the camera
no.
turns on."
Yeah.
And that was like a big deal for like a lot of people that used to come out like,
Oh,
"Oh shit!" So if the
no.
light comes on, the camera's on. We're probably in.
We're probably fucked already.
Yeah, so that's how long ago we're talking about.
Yeah,
we're talking
no.
about a different time, everything was just different back then.
I just realized I totally hopped back into street racing when we were talking about Central already. We're already past that part of Kenny's life.
Street racing.
Oh,
is
I don't
sick.
care. I could talk
Street
about it all day,
racing is
man.
just sick though.
Listen,
it's
man.
it's the illegality part of it, and like the like that shit is just. If we're street racing, I'm smoking a cigarette.
Let me tell you, man. If
Like-
you like the Avenue P days, the Hunts Point days, the Zuriga, Flatlands in Brooklyn, like these are spots that were legendary. Like you go back there, if you know the nights to go on, you could just go there and hang out all night, man.
Was
Yeah.
there like a race wars, like your version of race wars, like a big one?
Man, I wish you guys could experience it.
Goddamn.
I think I caught the tail end.
I think I was
Okay,
gonna say.
I think you did because if
Frank
you were
might have.
59, you were definitely
Yeah.
out there seeing some stuff.
I definitely I remember a lot of different drag racing experience. I never really did any of the serious ones ever, but I saw a lot of them, and it gives me the same feeling I get street drifting.
It's definitely the same.
It was
It's definitely-
so exciting and like I don't know, that was some of the most fun times I ever had with cars.
Well, you know, like, and it didn't matter. It was not about being a kid because there was people that, I don't want to blow spots, man, but there was people up there that were like older than me now.
Yeah.
They were out there with their adult kids, and like they were good friends of mine, man. And they were racing, and they go home to their families, to their job, and you see them, and they're like in their 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
And to this day, I'm in group chats with them, and they're still looking for runs. Yeah, it's dope.
They
you know?
do they pick up some new like, but I bet you now it's like
It's addictive
I just picked
too,
up the
man.
GT3 RS. Let's go give it a try.
So
Like what?
So the guy I'm thinking about, he's now he's still out there. He has a Camaro, '97 Camaro.
Okay.
You know, on nitrous.
Okay.
Still looks
Okay, yeah.
yeah, his son has Fox bodies, you know, and they still look for runs. I mean, obviously they don't get the runs like we used to back in the day,
Yeah.
but you know, they're always down to race.
Now this is what the street racing scene looks like to me because I got caught up in it once.
Oh God.
I was at a Buffalo Wild Wings by my house. If Tyler, my roommate, is listening to this, he will know. We were there, and there's a group that convenes there because the highway by my house, it's like pretty accessible to that Buffalo Wild Wings. But I don't even really think it's that accessible. But regardless, there'll be like a bunch of
He might know about it.
Which
nah,
one?
dude. It on 78.
78.
Yeah,
I mean, you're talking about the spot that they run.
Probably not.
on the highway, it's always a roll because you could hear it from my house.
Okay, no.
It's a roll. It's just a bunch of kids. I feel like it's like a normal little, like it's like people in the area.
Someone try to
But
run
like
you?
this is always what's there, a bunch of Mustangs, all on skinny tires in the front.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know if it's like a legitimate setup or if it's
Or
just
they're
like
just
a
doing
small
that?
tire.
Yeah.
But like it's a small tire, and it's got like fat ass wheels, and they're all just lined up. And I'm like, what are they expecting to do? Like, is somebody just gonna roll in here like, I want to race one of these?
They might.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's how it,
Oh,
it used
yeah,
to be,
But
right?
there was one time I'll run into sometimes they drive them on the street and you'll run. There's like an Eclipse, an older Eclipse.
Yeah.
I'm assuming
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
a GSX,
Yeah.
the 4-wheel drive
Yeah.
one. I want to. That's the
I
shit
love
that
that
I
car.
want to see.
Yeah.
Like I know a Mustang is gonna go fast. I know like you look at a Civic, you can tell if it's gonna go faster.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
I loved second gen Eclipses. I
So
don't
the
know.
second gen.
do
or-
you really?
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, I love them too.
Stop.
Yeah. That was
Look
the
at me,
Evo
da-
before the Evo.
Yeah.
Nah, you're
100%.
actually telling the truth. You look
Yes.
like you're full fledged telling
That
the
was the
truth.
first car I ever turned a wrench on, really, too.
Oh yeah.
Was
What?
a second gen
Oh,
Eclipse.
get out
yeah.
of here.
Was it a
Yeah.
non-turbo one?
No, it was a turbo one.
But the non-turbo one, yet again, my dad told me he was like the demographic of that car were chicks.
Yeah. 100%.
I'm
And
okay
they had
with
that
it.
ugly
Same thing with
shift knob.
240s.
The ugly
The
shift
ugly
knob and the
shift knob,
automatic
yeah. And
Mitsubishis
yeah,
of that
and
era.
It looked like a curve.
That shit looked like you
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
it looked like. A penis.
A penis.
It did. It did.
But Toyotas had that same thing too, like a 4Runner, the Camry,
yeah.
all of that shit had that, you know.
Yeah, but dude, that was a 4G63 and it was
100%.
all-wheel drive.
Yep.
GSX was all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
What gravitated you to the Evo?
So it's
Like
funny.
you didn't have a car before that at all?
Nah, this is a good segue because you mentioned about second gen. The fastest car that I was ever in before I got into street, like anything car
Yeah,
related. I
yeah.
just like cars, but I didn't know anything about like the car culture.
Uh-huh.
Was my wife's cousin. He lived in Jersey, And he was actually part of Team. Well, he wasn't part of Team Alpha. He knew the Team Alpha guys though back in the day. He used to talk about them and how these guys. So Team Alpha guys were like Brian from East Sleep Race. They had a car crew back then. And my wife's cousin used to always talk about them in their Civics.
Okay.
And
you caught a little.
Yeah, this is back in like 98, 99.
Oh damn, yeah.
So but he had a GSX. He had a 98 GSX. And anyway, it was fast as fuck. He swapped it to a 16G. And back then, if you're doing anything faster than a 15, like if you're doing 14s, you're a rocket. Right?
Yeah, that's
right. Back in the day.
Hell yeah, dude.
So,
like I'm trying to think of other cars during that area. 98, 99, the Integra GSR just came out in 98.
yeah.
I mean,
It's the only car.
you're doing high 15s at best.
Like an S14
Bone stock,
is
yeah.
literally ripping a 17 down that quarter mile.
SRT4. Oh wait, what did you say?
S14.
Oh, S14s.
But
yeah,
an SRT4 that was
Yeah,
but
that
that's
was
literally got
later,
the same
though.
shit. Isn't that technically
It
that
had a 2.4 turbo.
Oh, it's something else.
And theoretically, they were like similar to Evos off
Yeah.
road. But we're talking about like in the late 90s. So
Yeah.
the domestics were running 13s, right, or
Wow.
14s, 13s, 14s, right,
Okay.
with bolt-ons. But if you were an import, and you were driving a Honda that's all motor or nitrous, you're probably doing 14s at best.
So shit got like drastically faster
It did.
in that 10-year period.
So I always think about this, right? Because I saw this little clip that I've actually posted on the Central IG recently that brought back memories. It was it's like a 14. I forgot the name movie. The Last Race. I don't know if you ever heard of it. I don't know. Yeah, it's called The Last Race. It's like a 15 or 20-minute short film, but it's
Okay.
really dope because it really gave me the vibes of the way it used to be.
Maybe I did see it. I've seen some of those on
Oh,
YouTube, right?
You should YouTube it. Yeah,
Yeah.
The Last Race. It's on there. So the reason I bring it up is, these days people are running 8s, 9s, right?
Yeah.
And the cars are super fast and they're racing. And I know that no matter what, if you're doing an 8 or 9 second car, trapping at 150 in the street, you got to be able to drive the car, right?
Yeah.
Without a doubt. But there's a different feeling when you, and I get it, like we're running 13s, 14s, 15s, so it's not as fast. But the driving feeling, it's just, there was no assistance back then. You could either
Yeah.
drive the car or you can't.
And that I'm saying that 14-second car hits you in the back so different than like the newer cars.
I ran a 14 in my STI.
You know what would run a
Hey.
14?
I think that shit was terrible though, because that shit was stage 2, quote unquote. I was like, I should be doing like faster than this.
But on the street, I guarantee it feels fast as shit. You're
oh yeah, no, it did.
against normal.
It felt
normal
on the
traffic.
street. It felt like my car had more power than it should.
Yes.
So you were
Yeah.
running 14s.
I think it's mid 14, high 14, something like that.
Question, what year was SCI?
05.
And was, okay.
And
like,
it was downpipe, stock turbo.
do you remember what your
tuned.
trap speed was?
Nope.
All right. So, but you weren't into drag racing.
Nope.
All right. I'm only saying that
Just
because
dabbled.
if you're doing a 14 on an STI, it's pretty slow.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't
You
mean, no,
suck.
no,
Dude,
no,
I
no.
felt the same way.
Well, no, but you could drift. I can't drift.
What a
so I'm not
loser.
talking shit. I'm not talking shit. What I am saying is,
And I was like, dude, come on. I did like 3 runs. I was like, it's got to be faster
I've
than
never
this.
owned a single fast car in my life.
Was off because it just doesn't sound like those cars bone stock were actually faster than Evo's bone stock.
And I was like, dude, I'm fucking launching this shit. Come on.
Oh,
Yeah.
see that right there would scare me. Well, it was a STI.
It's fun, dude.
No, but SCI's bone stock were doing low 13s out of the box.
Yeah, see,
I
that
mean,
sound-
unless
that
it was the
sound-
summertime. If it was super hot, I could understand. You lose power. You go to English Town. Like
The
you know.
time I ran, I remember thinking the time I ran was good for a stock car. And I was like, but my car's not stock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why I was like, what the fuck?
So bone stock in my Evos, I was always mid to high 13s. Yeah, and then with just a tune, I went 12.8 on my Evo 8.
So you were saying about that GSX.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got to ride it. 'Cause
So
that was
my-
the fastest car, right? You've been
So
in?
yeah, I've never experienced a fast car. This is 99.
Yeah.
I just got my 99 SI. I didn't know anything about racing besides the fact I like to race. I didn't know about the track. I didn't know about like launching. So go to my cousin's house, my wife's cousin at the time, and she was just my girl at the time. And her cousin Ray, Christopher, we call him Christopher or Ray. He was into street racing at the time. And he used to talk about the guys from Team Alpha because I had an SI, and he's like, "Yo, these guys are really fast with their Hondas, and they're always racing."
That's the car I wanted, by the way.
The SI?
Yeah, 2000.
Yeah, the
2000,
EM1.
Yeah.
EM1 SI.
That's the one I
Yep.
wanted. That was the first car I wanted.
Oh, I love that car. I remember watching it come off the truck.
Yeah.
It was just really, Electron blue, the way the color hit. I think it's still my favorite.
Oh, I
Honda
know
car.
that blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's a very signature Civic blue.
I
It
wanted the
is.
black one, and then I saw Fast and Furious, and I was like, I need that car.
Yeah.
My cousin had a silver base model one.
That's sick too, though.
Okay, and I thought that shit was cool because they put this intake in it and like a big ass blue pipe
Sticking out the front.
sticking
yeah.
out like, and it's long, goes down this and into the fender. I remember seeing that shit, and my cousin's like trying to not have my other cousins rev it because they're all like, rev it, dude. And that
So
shit-
you get a ride in this car.
Right. So I get a ride in this car, and I've never ever experienced a car launch the way it did.
Yeah.
He launched the GSX, and he was trying to make the front wheels come off the ground. And that's what his objective was. He's like, yo, watch this. I'm going to try to make the front wheels come off. And every single time, an all-wheel drive turbo car, he had a 16G turbo in there. So, and we're talking about 99.
Yeah.
So in 99,
16G is not even that crazy, but back then,
he's probably putting out like high threes, low fours.
yeah, which is
all-wheel drive.
yeah.
there's
pretty
no other
fast.
gauge. There's no other car. It's not like you could get in another car and feel what that 400 horsepower was feeling like.
Nah, man.
Yeah.
That car he was doing 12s in 99. So back then, like low 12s in 99, maybe fast. I don't know. I got to ask him again. But I know he was at least going 12s. And in 99, when every Honda would do a 15-1, and we'd think it was like insane on the street. Like if you did a 15-1 at 93, 94 miles per hour, you were like
Yeah.
faster than the 16-second guys.
That's so crazy.
And this guy was doing 12s. So that was fast.
Shitting on him.
that
12.
must be a very vivid
Memory? Oh, I will never forget that. There was another guy, because you brought up DSMs. He was really well known. He's still out there now. His name is Frank from Yonkers.
Okay.
He had a teal first gen. And
That's like the very blocky.
Yeah, they don't look like the second gen. at
It
all.
looks like almost a Conquest.
no. Oh well, yeah, I guess
Same
kind of.
body
I mean,
style. Chrysler Conquest, was that a thing?
I don't really know what
So-
that is, but
Or an Eagle
all I know is
Talon?
Eagle Talon.
Yeah,
there you
Eagle
go.
Talon.
That's
Same
the one.
car.
That's
Yeah.
the one.
Well, the thing is,
There's
Eagle,
a bunch of them.
Yeah, Eagle Talon and the Mitsubishi Eclipse first gen and second gen, they always share the platform.
Yes.
So you had the GSX, which is the all-wheel drive turbo,
Uh-huh.
or you had the TSI, which is basically a GSX, but it's an Eagle Talon.
Oh.
yeah, everyone loved that first gen Eagle Talon.
I
I wanted nothing to do with it
No.
now
Yeah.
why are they so fucking unreliable?
because they're Mitsubishi.
Is that really just
yeah,
it?
Yeah,
'Cause
with a touch of Chrysler. So
I only
Yeah.
know like what the inside of that looks like, and and this is vaguely because a friend of our, Chris, you remember Quinones?
Are they unreliable?
A friend of him, I'll tell you, a friend of mine, because I'm gonna bring up Jeff again, the sleeping guy.
Wake
a friend
up,
of mine,
Jeff, wake
a friend
up.
of mine had a Talon, and like we just went to go eat somewhere, or maybe we went to just hanging out in a parking lot or something like that, and the Talon just died, and I don't think it ever turned on after that. Like
That was the last time.
he just got the car too and everything, and to us, I was like, damn, this thing is like turboed. It's got like a fucking blow off valve and shit. I had the Integra, so
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then it died. It just didn't turn on. Like, and he drove it there.
Yeah.
So,
Honestly, the starter probably was bad.
but now, what did we do? Our buddy Jeff got in front of what car were we using to push it?
push it.
Chris? Was it an Odyssey? It was an Odyssey. Our other friend's Odyssey. So he was sitting on the front of the Odyssey, and he was pushing the Talon, and we were driving the Odyssey. We pushed it home. Well, we pushed it a couple blocks later.
Did you guys ever fix it?
Fuck if I know, dude. I know it did not start after that, I don't think. Or he sold it. See? Boom.
Because it didn't start.
But like,
I don't know.
what is the
Mitsubishi's like-
issue? What's the Achilles heel here? Is it like the electrical?
no.
It's just a straight up the gear, running gear.
No, it's like the quality of the parts. I feel like.
Quality of parts, and you just have to have a lot of patience with the car.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
not as
what
bad as you
breaks,
think.
like the
I'll be honest with you.
injectors, just
I don't
break
even
them?
think it's that bad.
It's not
to be
that
honest.
bad. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like,
Or yeah, maybe it isn't that bad. Maybe this
So-
is the outside looking in. I've never had a
all right,
DSM.
this is my thing. They were definitely not the most reliable cars, and you definitely have to have patience with them. But if you're familiar with it, or you have a mechanic that is, it's not as bad as you think.
I almost want to relate it to a 240.
Yes.
Do we?
Yeah.
But okay.
Because like if you ask me, I think a 240 is the most reliable vehicle on earth.
Right.
get the fuck
That's because
out.
I know how to work on it.
You're comfortable. Yeah, exactly. You know
Oh.
what to
You know what I
expect.
mean?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So if you don't know how to work on, then I don't know. Maybe
Exactly.
it's not good.
Yeah.
Like
Well-
an example, like a KA, like a 240, like a KA 240, in my opinion, really all you need to put in there is oil.
That's what I mean. I've seen people put used gear oil in it, Jesse. You
Bro,
know, so-
I literally had this single cam that I was trying to blow up. And I only started
Yeah, dude,
knocking, and I think it's just because maybe a
And then when something
spoonful
breaks,
of oil
it's
fell
like it's
out.
like some stupid shit.
Stupid shit.
Yeah. The only difference is the DSM is a transverse setup, and if you have all-wheel drive, that's even more fucking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what about all that
Yeah.
stuff under there? Does that stuff break really?
You break axles sometimes or
Oh,
transfer
okay.
cases. I mean,
Yeah, I wonder what those.
or the clutch is definitely annoying to like replace on there
Yeah.
because it's a lot of work. I mean, again, I'm not a mechanic, so I'm
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
talking
yeah.
shit here. I don't mind because I just
no,
have
look
a
at
mechanic
Chris.
friend to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I like to drive them.
Yeah.
I,
I mean,
love those cars,
yeah.
man.
But you know what's funny? So my original 8 and 9, except towards the end, if you have a mechanic that doesn't know what they're doing, right? I feel like the car becomes unreliable when they start fucking around with shit that's not right.
Well, yeah, I feel like it
Yeah.
always is like
They're making
that.
it worse.
That
You're making it worse, and then all of a sudden, future people have to deal with the problems, and it's like, oh my god, this car sucks. It's so unreliable.
Oh, yeah.
But if you have a mechanic, and there's a handful of like evil mechanics from back in the day that I would always, if I took it to them, I was never worried about the car being unreliable.
Yeah.
So and let me tell you, the way I drove my old cars,
no regrets.
no regrets.
See?
No, I beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Them damn
And-
transmissions.
And never blew a motor in my old Evos ever. Well, actually,
Wow.
knock you out. I don't want to drink. I never blew a motor in an Evo ever.
Why don't you just
Yeah.
knock on the desk a few
And-
times? Because you still have an Evo.
Yeah. I'm
And
looking-
and a
100%.
friend of mine, Ken Fujimatsu's in the chat. He said crank walk for second gen.
So crank gen was.
yeah.
Oh yeah. So 100%.
what? Like that's a detrimental failure.
Yeah.
that
I
is
did
not just
forget
like,
about that.
you know what? It
I
won't.
forgot
It
about
won't.
that.
All right,
shit.
so
It
the
won't.
crank
It
walk-
won't turn on. It's probably something small.
So the crank walk 7-bolt, 6-bolt, right?
Yeah.
That was definitely a manufacturer defect.
Oh my
100%.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Fuck,
you
I
had
remember
to.
that now.
Yeah, and that was definitely unreliable, 100%. And that's something that, as if you're buying a car, you should know about. You know, whether it's a 7-bolt or 6-bolt.
Or if you're picking up a new engine or something.
Yeah.
Well, now
Yeah.
I feel like it's so easy. Like shit, you guys know. I'd be
What?
looking at Facebook Marketplace and I'll be like, I could get this Cayenne right here, 2004, and then
Someone
go to
needs to
YouTube.
block Facebook.
Then you go to
Marketplace on your
YouTube and you
phone.
type in like Cayenne. This is just an example, like Cayenne issues, and it'll be like a buying guide for that car.
So it's
now I feel
weird-
like it'd be
it's
so
funny
easy.
you mentioned Cayenne because my best friend right now, Danny, he picked one up. He bought it for like, I don't know, like $2,000.
Yup. This is the
Super
Cayenne we're
cheap,
talking
yeah,
about.
super
Is it an
cheap.
S?
Yes, it's a non-turbo.
But it's a
Um,
V8.
It's a V8. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And so he
Is
bought
this
it.
the truck?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
I
truck.
fucking hate that thing. All right, continue.
All right. So he
Of
bought
course
it,
you fucking would, because I like it.
Thing
but
is,
he got it dirt cheap.
what's
right?
worse than the Porsche? A big one.
I think that you could look cool driving it.
I don't know, dude. If it's not a 911, I don't want anything
Well,
to do
the thing
with
is,
it.
he uses it as a towing rig.
That's
So,
why.
Yeah, he uses the.
That sounds
tow.
even like a
So it's-
worse idea. Okay,
So
continue.
it sounds bad, but the thing is, he's so mechanically inclined
It's
that
fine.
he fixed the things without even worrying about it. He was able to source parts for dirt cheap, and he's basically in the car for cheap. It's a Porsche. He got
Yeah.
a brand new interior because it was all chewed up before.
I still
and,
might do
and
that,
he's
dude.
and he uses it as a tow rig.
I
So
know
it's
what
a
the
front engine V8.
front engine V8, and mind you,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a little history lesson real quick.
Oh, great.
The Cayenne, when they made that shit, that engine had a lot of R&D in there because during that time they paused Le Mans shit that they were doing. Now everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, that's not what they did." They paused Le Mans shit that they were doing to go put the money in like research into the Cayenne. So they were still in race mode, and they made the Cayenne engine.
Were they designing that engine
So that
for
V8,
that car?
that V8 is actually a stout engine. There is an Achilles heel. There's always an Achilles heel right in the valley of the V8. There is something called the
Something
main
called the
coolant
starter.
the main coolant pipe for the. It's like a hard line.
Okay.
But for some reason, Porsche made it with plastic. So then it deteriorates, and you have to replace it with a metal one. But once you replace it with the metal one, you're fine.
I'm pretty sure Danny replaced it.
He definitely did.
Yeah.
It sounds like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But that truck, I love that.
I'll stick with my Chevy.
But what I'm saying is it's so easy to like that information right there.
Yeah.
I feel like I wouldn't have known that unless like I was fucking with Porsches if I didn't have a phone
Right.
or
Yeah.
access to YouTube. So that's why when people are finding out that these cars are unreliable, how long did that really take?
Oh, wait,
because
but-
like a GSX is kind of new.
Another question too. for forums or? I mean, forums are
Yeah,
probably
like what
just
were you doing
started.
for information?
So forums were definitely a big thing back then.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, they were
Like
definitely a big
AOL
thing.
was popping.
Man, let me tell you,
Those group
in
chats.
99 SI, there was a website called clubsi.com.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
Or HondaShowOff.com.
So
you know what that is?
Well, there was Honda Hookup, B20 VTEC.
Honda
Yep,
hookup
B20.
sounds a little.
Remember
Yeah.
Honda
no.
Hookup? Oh, you
No.
don't remember?
No,
Oh,
I don't.
so
That
Honda
sounds a
Hookup-
little weird. I don't
So
know.
it sounds
Frankie
weird
goes
now.
to the other hookup website.
Yeah.
Honda hookup.
Honda Hookup was Spring Valley. Was all the
Oh, it
local,
was?
Yeah, and there was forums for every street race spot locally.
Holy shit.
So we used to go in there and set up races on there, and then
That's
fucking-
pretty sick.
Yeah, man, it was called HondaHookup.net.
When did the cops get wind of that one?
Yeah, right.
Well,
That
there
would be
was-
so easy
so-
for a cop to make a profile or some shit. Like,
But
hey
that's
guys,
funny
where are we
because
meeting today?
We used to be like, when someone will post and we knew everyone is in there, you could kind of tell who was suspect.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they'd be like, who's
The
this?
imposter. You guys are playing imposter in
Yeah.
real life.
Do you remember when the cops would show up at the meets and just like walk around in normal clothes?
Bro, all the time. You know, it's crazy because even
And
the
you
hunt-
see a gun on them?
yeah,
Yeah.
you know they're cops.
And
Looking,
you're like, dude.
trying to listen in.
We know you're a fucking cop.
Yo, there was these cops that used to go to Spring Valley, man, and they had these like there was one guy we used to call him Lazy Eye
Oh,
because
fuck.
he had a lazy eye.
Okay.
I could have guessed.
Yeah, and these people were notorious for and you know I get it, they're doing their jobs, but like
Yeah.
being really scary on the highway if they were to caught you doing shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because they were just very aggressive, allegedly, you know.
Jesus.
Yeah. They have
Yeah.
at Edgewater, there would be cops walking
Around, yeah,
with concealed carry, and everyone can see it.
yeah.
They're like, fuck, this guy's a cop right here. And they would just call him out too, because there's like 3,000 fucking people at Edgewater. You remember Edgewater?
Yeah,
It just
Edgewater-
takes one person to go like, yo, this guy's a fucking cop
Literally,
right here.
literally.
Ah!
Yeah, literally,
And then
yeah.
Look at everybody.
Dude.
Dude, I
Fun
have not
times,
gone to a
though.
car
Good
meeting forever.
times
I
back
feel
in
like
the
that for me that I like that whole scene kind of is not.
I feel
I'm
like
sure you can only imagine. It's probably not what you experienced. To me, what I thought me going to car shows and hanging out with my friends at car meets and shit, that's not what's going on right now. Like I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't
don't know what's going
I
on
couldn't
right now.
experience that right now if I tried. Like before, where you're just like, oh yeah, let's pull up and we'll see the other cars and shit. I feel like I couldn't get that feeling if I tried without going to a show
Right.
or like something organized, Milkshake Monday, something like that.
Well, this is my opinion about like that aspect of car culture now. I think that there's definitely groups of people that still enjoy it and that wants to like they want that action.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit harder because social media makes things so much more exposed. At the same time, you get a lot of exposure. Back
Yeah.
then, it was a lot easier to enjoy it with your friends and I don't want to call it a controlled environment, but it was a little bit controlled because the whole world didn't know about it.
You were more isolated.
We're more
Controlled.
isolated. We did it with other people that were there because they liked that it was a if you know type of thing. You know, like we did it because we were a subculture. Whereas now, yeah, it's a subculture, but there's so much more exposure. Like, people are doing it because they wanted to be known. We didn't do it because we wanted to be known. We did
Yeah.
it because we wanted to win. You know,
Yeah.
we liked the competition. We loved, like there was people back then that used to race that became famous now. They're famous now, and even then they were
Like Ty Boogie.
yeah. Well, Ty, I remember when even Ty started, you know, and he was just coming out. We used to see him at the runs.
He
and
was the only video guy I knew on YouTube. I would watch his videos like all day.
yeah. Well,
when I had a Honda.
his videos, he was the guy that used to make the theatrics in his videos.
Yeah.
And it was sick, and used to be like, yo, you know, man, he was, you know, his talent for that stuff was really.
Well, for me, me watching that as somebody with like, again, no experience at the time, I'm watching this shit. I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
they got Fast and the Furious right. They closed the road and everything. And I'm like, what the fuck? That's real? That's like a concept to me, somebody who wasn't or it was or isn't or any part of that scene. I was like, damn, like that's hardcore as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Like-
I remember the first time I was involved in one of those situations, and I was like, holy shit.
You ever allegedly have to run away, Frankie?
Yeah.
On
From
foot?
the cops?
Yeah, on foot.
Oh, on foot? No.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about in the car.
Yeah,
What'd
definitely.
you use? The Chevy?
No.
I want to hear some.
I was in a 240
some
once when I-
allegedly illegal stuff that Frankie did.
I think we talked about this once, or I think I talked to you about it once, but it wasn't a street race situation this time. But I was, you know, cops just pull you over for no reason. I was just driving my 240, see a cop turn around. This one is not even, I don't even consider this running from the cops, but it's just funny. So we're like going over an overpass, right? and the cop's coming this way, and I see him, and I'm like, I bet he's gonna pull me over for no fucking reason. I look at my rear view, he's turning around. I was like, all right, get on the entrance ramp to Route 17.
And just go.
I just start going, get on the entrance ramp. I come out the bottom of the ramp. I look up. I see the lights coming over the bridge. I just get back off the next exit ramp. And I just go back up. And I just look over, and he's flying down the highway. And I was like, okay, that was the easiest one. No, other times, though, probably at 59.
Yeah.
I feel like after the cars go off, everyone is like,
Well, there was this
we
one
gotta
time.
run.
There was this one time I was with a buddy, and we were kind of like I knew some people at 59, but I didn't know, I wasn't like part of the in crowd. I didn't know that many people.
Right.
So me and my buddy would just hang around, and we would catch wind of what's going on and be like, okay, they're gonna go here.
Right.
So we start following all these Hondas. Dude, it's the biggest group of Hondas I ever followed in my entire life. There must have been fucking 30, 40 Honda Civics all cruising down 59. We're following them, whatever. And we're like in Spring Valley area.
Yeah.
I don't really know that well,
Right.
And they're taking back roads. I'm like, where the fuck are these guys going? I thought they were going to Bear Mountain or some shit.
Yeah.
They're taking back roads. We end up in Seven Lakes. I was like,
Oh,
how the fuck did we
you
even
went to
get
Seven
here?
Lakes?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I was like, are they going to? And I'm like, they're going to that fucking straightaway by the lake.
Well, Seven Lakes.
Near Arden Valley.
Okay, so you guys go to Arden Valley too?
Wait a minute.
Well,
That
no.
is a horrible place.
Yeah,
I know where you should be going.
You
over
know
there.
I know the straight next to the lake.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
there's a better straight. I only know this because one time my buddy brought me there on a
Wait,
bike.
let me finish the story.
Yeah,
Hold
go,
up.
go.
So somehow we found out they were going there, and we took a wrong turn. So I was like, all right, let's just go there and whatever. We'll see the races.
Right.
So we go there. We go in the little parking lot that's up on
Right above it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the middle of the night. All of a sudden, you start hearing them coming up. Could you make a Honda sound?
I was about to.
Come on, you got it.
Can I? Like,
Yeah,
what,
yeah.
going through a mountain?
Yeah. Yeah, Jen, just like, dude, like 15.
Like, they're just fucking sitting there.
Yeah,
Like,
like 20 of them, dude. And I was like, oh fuck, this is gonna be it. They get to the circle, right? God, I hope I remember this right, dude.
No, there is a circle right there.
Yeah, the circle's there.
The
and then it's
parking
next to
lot-
the water. It's on the right. The
Yeah.
parking lot's on the right.
Yes.
I don't know if they're gonna be racing over there. Franklin.
No. That's straight away. 100% we're doing that.
The ranger station's at the top.
That's
Yeah, trust
insane.
me,
Yeah.
they came. So they're like just getting there. I think. Yeah, they start setting up, and then just sirens, woo, coming down the street. I was like, oh fuck! And then they come from the other side too.
I would've
now
gotten
these
the
guys-
water.
Dude, these guys are fucked. And we're just sitting there in the lot. No one's near us. And we're just sitting there like, oh fuck! And we're just watching them all fucking shoot out of nowhere. They're going. Oh, I know what happened. They came up. Okay, this is it. The cops came up the back way, not on that straight.
Okay.
So coming from like
the
From
other
the-
part
the
of
opposite
Seven
direction.
Lakes.
yes,
Yeah.
they come flying up, sirens on. All of them start running. They start flying down that straight. Now me and my friend are sitting up there like, oh fuck, what are we gonna do? And the cops just chase them down that road. So we just get in the car and we go down the road they came from.
That's not funny.
Dude, I was like, fuck, dude, we're fucked. Like, there's
That's
so
fucking
many
far
cops.
as shit, though.
I know. I was like,
oh
what are
my
we
God.
doing over here?
There's a straightaway that's like
That's there.
you know where West Point is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that area,
That whole fucking
without
highway's
without
there.
disclosing any more,
Yeah,
is
I
like
already
this,
fucked up.
you
but
already
yeah.
know where there's this straightaway. It's long, and like I've never sent a car down it, but my buddy brought me there because he was friends with a lot of other bikers and stuff, and there was a ZX10 and like a Gixxer 1000, or no ZX14, the big one.
The big boy.
Yeah, and like another bike, but just fully pinned, sixth gear, just, and I'm like, wow,
dude,
that was
shit's
sick.
scary.
It was fucking awesome.
Bike shit is
but
scary.
but to me, I'm like, damn, this would be a perfect place to
yeah,
get a little run in a car.
there's a lot of.
Yeah.
with more metal on you, so that you're not so exposed. But that straightaway was another. Damn, like now I want to see how fast my car will go.
You need that nitrous first.
Dude.
Did you guys ever fuck around with nitrous?
Yeah, did you
I
ever?
never
You ever
did.
you
I had
had
friends,
experience with
yeah.
nitrous?
Yeah. I had a friend that.
Was
I
it
mean-
popping back then? Like,
Oh,
where-
100%.
like, nitrous
100%.
game? Like, yeah, she's on
Nitrous
the
was
bottom.
definitely a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. People were spraying. I mean, obviously, like, you know, whether they were hiding it or they're not. I had friends that's what they raced. That was their setup.
Yeah.
You know, bolt-ons and nitrous.
Hiding it is crazy. I
Hiding-
think that
Hiding
is,
it's crazy when you get caught.
Yeah. I mean, if
Right?
you're racing for money and you're popping your hood and you're trying to find it, you know, we've caught people trying to hide it.
what do you say then? You're like, renegotiate terms.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, but what happens if they win and then you find out? That
Well,
is it kind of just like, well, you fucked up because you didn't find it, or is it?
It depends because most of the time, it depends on the stipulations whether we look at the car beforehand or
Yeah.
after. But after, if you're after and they're not paid, it's going to be a long argument or there's going to be drama.
Yeah.
Most people don't want to fight when they go to a street race.
Yeah.
You know, like everyone wants to go home.
Yeah.
Now, unless there's money involved that it really gets serious and it gets really hairy, which obviously it could and it has. But most of the time, it's set up in a way that, all right, we either check it before or after, and it depends on the people. So you'll very rarely check it before and then check it again after. It's
Yeah.
always like you agree on the terms. Terms is either we check it before and we're good, or we check it after and we're good. And then after, then we got to renegotiate. I mean, not renegotiate. We got to worry about if the payout's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of times that people didn't get paid. You know, how much do you really want the money? You want to be for it? You want to, you know?
Yeah.
Most people wanted to go home. You know, but don't get me wrong. You know, you never know who's in the other side. Or
Yeah.
the group.
Exactly.
You know, I could be dealing with you as a friend. We could be arguing, but you came with someone that nobody knows that is mad over his $40 that he put in the pot on the other side, and now he wants to cause some beef because of his $40 he put in the pot.
Yeah.
You know, think about it. Like you're racing for $5,000 with 50, 100 people, and people throwing in 20 or 40. All it takes is for one guy to think that he's owed his money. You know,
Yeah.
like it's kind of weird. So,
It is crazy.
but it was always for fun. You know,
and I feel
allegedly,
like
we always had fun.
Allegedly.
I feel like you definitely did something good by like navigating all that energy and like effort into Central, because
Oh,
you guys
so
started. So you started hosting motorsports events mixed with car shows.
well, okay, even before that.
Even
so,
before that.
You had
Okay,
the-
wait.
you
So
had
back
Underground.
into underground.
Yeah, so Underground started in 2004, and then we didn't really take it serious. We kind of like we wanted to start like a website, and there was no social media.
I was
back
gonna
then.
ask, like, what was your outlet? So you're just making websites and posting your content on
Yeah,
there,
pretty
like
much.
a blog.
Yeah, a vlog. It was
Yeah.
basically a vlog, like the way forums were. We wanted a vlog about cars, and so it wasn't Central yet. It was Underground.
Mm.
And what messed it up for us was Need for Speed Underground came out.
Damn, everything's
Dude,
blown
I was
up this-
thinking the name was sick because of that. Honestly, I was like, that's even cooler. Because
No, but then it got blown up. There
It got blown up, yeah, and everyone
Oh,
thought that we started it because of Need for Speed.
yeah,
But we actually thought of it before Need for Speed.
yeah.
Yeah. So that messed it up for us.
I would have rolled with it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we should have. But, you know, at the time, I guess, you know, I wasn't super serious about starting like this
Yeah,
brand. I just was excited about it.
it does suck when that shit happens. Though.
Yeah. And Edwin at the time was just getting into like graphic design and his career and stuff like that. So he was busy. So then when I decided to take a step back from all the street stuff a little bit, and kind of focus on Central, was then what our goal was to really just capture like car culture, you know, and Edwin was really big on the Japanese car culture. Like he loved
He
Japan.
was super knowledgeable with that stuff.
Oh, he
when
loves it. He's very passionate about it. He's always been like that. It's not like he just thought about it recently and now he's been doing that since the day I met him back in like the early 2000s. I met him like 2003 or something like that. And me, I was just really involved with cars here. Like I was always out there, whether we didn't call it meets back then, you know, we just went to the spot, you know, and I just happened to be in a lot of places. I met a lot of people. So we put this idea together that, listen, the way they do it in Japan, and we just like really love their culture. We should really promote the culture here, you know. And it was a subculture without social media at the time, which made it cool because it was really like, that's why it was called Underground also.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
it was like subcultures that the public doesn't really know about. So then Weckfest or Weekfest, you know,
Whatever it is.
they made this announcement. I'll never forget it. And they said, "Hey, we're gonna do the first show on the East Coast where we want to promote it." So, you know,
Yeah,
became-
because this stuff was kind of happening in California too.
oh, 100%. I mean,
Right?
like
Kind of like well, tuner culture and JDM stuff.
tuner culture in
And
the
their
West
shit
Coast.
is like they didn't get snow or anything over there where that was booming. So like their scene over there was like super aesthetic looking.
Oh, I loved it.
Well,
Cars
I'm
were
thinking,
clean
like-
all the time, like shiny.
Like, when did Fat Lace come out?
Oh, Fat Lace
Is that-
was
that's
already
later?
yeah. So Fat Lace came out around the same time. I think they were definitely before us a little bit
Okay.
because they were already coming out with their like. I just remember looking at Fat Lace and I just loved their style.
Yeah, it was kind of like
Yeah.
a
The
The
lifestyle
aesthetics
brand.
was just really dope.
Yeah.
And I'm not really I'm a terrible mechanic, but I'm also a terrible aesthetic guy.
Like graphic designer,
Yeah,
or yeah.
Like I know what I want, but
Me
I'm
too.
not good at talking about it.
I'm the same way.
Yeah. So I leave that.
I rely on graphic
Frankie's
designers.
struggle right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what you think.
I
would
know
be
what I
cool.
want.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And-
I can't do it.
And most likely, like your idea is probably really good.
Sometimes, like,
Okay.
with the shirts and stuff, like that one right there. Like
Yeah.
I told them what I wanted. I was like, I want a Grim Reaper in a casket, and I want to be drifting.
That shit is dope.
And then they drew that, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, holy
that
shit,
shit's
you
dope.
fucking nailed that.
But that was a vision that you had to give him, and then he
Yeah,
created it.
yeah,
or her,
exactly.
you know, like
Yeah.
yeah, 100%. So that's the way I feel like with me. Like I have these really dope ideas that I think people it would really translate well, but I could never make that.
I
You
know.
know.
Yeah.
Um,
The thing is, we probably could if we put our.
I'm terrible.
I feel like we could.
Yeah, I'll hold a flashlight. I'll hold like a pen, and I'll let the guy because I'm really, I overthink everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only time I don't overthink things is when I drive. It's weird, like
I
like,
say that all the time. I black out when I get behind the wheel. I don't
mean,
know. I don't.
so
I'm
you
not
must
like
be- so
thinking
I-
about anything.
if that's the way you are as a driver, I think the best drivers black out.
Yeah. Just like they. I know what you're saying.
They just
If
get in
there's
zone.
something I want to try though, I'll think about it. Like when I'm sitting there on the line and I'm like, all right, remember like wider there.
You know, you might want to ask
Right
this
there.
to like your people maybe one day, or maybe do a podcast. Like, what makes a good driver? Because the best drivers in the world, like I am not. Listen, I think if you want to be the best at anything, you got to believe that you're probably one of the best. Like with anything,
Yeah.
and it's not cocky or confident, or being something negative like in that way. I think if you want to be great at anything, you have to think that you have the potential to be the best at whatever you do, even
Yeah.
if you're not, right? So like with driving, whenever I get behind the wheel, if it's go-karts or if it's fucking drag racing or road racing,
Like
in my-
I'm winning this shit.
I'm winning it. Like in my mind, I already won.
I'm definitely trying. That's exactly.
no, he's not trying.
No,
he's
I'm
winning.
I'm trying.
I'm winning. Like in my mind, I already won. You know, like, and that's I've always had that confidence. It's kind of weird because when I used to race on the street, that's when I used to get like that, and that's something that I really am thankful for, kind of, because I think those experiences made me who I am today.
There's also like a fine line there between like, you know, being confident and then being arrogant.
Well,
You know what I mean? Like there's some people out there right now where they're like, I'm hot shit right now. Like
I do
you
know
can't-
some of those people.
You can't fucking smell my fucking shit if you've tried.
So those people, in my opinion, right? I will always be humble about what I do, but I know in my mind that I'm
gonna win.
gonna win.
Yeah,
But I don't need to go and tell that to you.
No, yeah. And the thing is, the people that are arrogant and stuff, they're gonna self-destruct anyway. So it's
Yeah.
not even worth worrying about it.
You know, like, and I know arrogant people that are really good at what they do, but I don't have a problem with it if they're arrogant and they win, but they're still down to earth about it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I kind of get what you're saying.
I don't know. I just believe that, and you're right. There's a definitely a border, a line of arrogance and just being confidence.
Yeah.
I hope I don't sound arrogant.
No.
Okay, because I'm not. Like
you
I-
live this shit. It's different.
Yeah,
We're
I'll-
talking about like your life.
Yeah, well, I would never, and anyone that knows me personally, I don't need to brag about anything, because I'm definitely not perfect, and I definitely have my own struggles with everything. But I think the mindset of anyone that, like you told me, you black out. That means that hopefully it's a good blackout.
Yeah,
But I've seen
no.
you drive. I've seen your videos.
Thank you.
Of you drifting, and I'll be like, damn, that I want to do that one day.
You could.
You could. We'll bring you to an event.
Oh, I'm down.
Yeah,
Listen,
Carl will let you drive his car.
I'll let anybody
yeah?
drive a car.
I'm down.
See, I
I
knew
love
it.
Carl's car. You know that. As a matter of fact, if you ever want to sell, let me know.
That's just Chris.
Oh no, Carl, Chris. But, no, you know,
You
I
could
love
drive
your
Chris's car.
Chris,
So-
I don't know. Chris's car might.
The minute you said Carl, I was thinking of freaking your 240 for some reason. But
Kenny has asked me like 3 times already.
yeah, I've asked that. To be honest with you, when I pulled up, I was gonna ask you if you want to sell it. So when you said I could drive it, I was thinking about driving your car.
yeah, he went right for
Don't get
that
me wrong.
one.
I love the IS. Yo, my nephew Sean. Shout out to Sean. He loves your car too. Like he has an IS.
Thank you. He has an
Well-
IS too. Every IS person loves it. Every other is IS.
Yeah.
It's true.
You guys have like a little
We have like a-
love fest going.
I feel like we got a good group going now of podcast guests that want to go drift. You know what I mean?
What do you want to do? Like gather them all
Yes,
together,
I
like
do.
podcast
I
drift
do.
event.
You should make
Yeah.
that.
Get
so
your
like
drift
a,
on.
You should do like a YouTube video of like
Yeah.
the podcast people just doing a drift event one
Yeah.
day.
I'll
down.
throw a motherfucking stock seat in the IS and fucking let everybody romp that bitch.
Why, you don't
Before-
think everyone could fit in it?
Before, dude, the seat's kind of small. Look at Kenny's shoulders.
Nah, he'll get in
You
that.
know,
He'll
it's my
get in
belly.
that.
It's my belly.
He'll get
That
in
might. Yeah, but I mean, do you have any future visions, I guess, or goals that you want to go with Central?
No, I do Central for fun now.
Yeah,
You know, I
because
do
you
Central for
also
fun.
your profession by trade.
Yes.
You're a realtor,
Yes.
and it looks like you're doing super really like nice out there. Well, how's that going for you?
So it's going well. It's going well. I love what I do, and you know, it's kind of weird. Like the mindset I talked about driving, the mindset I talked about, like when I used to feel like when I race. I had a mentor that when I first got my license, he said, if you could be the same Kenny that he used to look up to, because he's a little younger than me. He used to watch me race on the street years ago, and he used to say, if that's the same Kenny, the way I should see you on the street, but you're a realtor, you'd be successful. So I apply the same type of confidence, the same type of mindset about, you know, I like winning.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's really transformed my business. Like I go in, I don't worry, even if there's things to worry about. I just get it done, you know? And so that's why I talk about no regret, and I'm thankful for stuff. So with real estate, yeah, there's a lot of success that I want to achieve. So I wouldn't call myself successful, but I am thankful that I'm busy.
Yeah.
So I am busy. I am helping people. My goal is not about looking at the money. My success is really about helping people. And it sounds cliche, I know, but when you help people and I get a text or I'm helping a client buy or sell, and, you know, yesterday, I was July 4th, I went to a friend's house who's actually a client, and I met him and his family because I helped them buy a house. And they invited me over. So we spent July 4th, and at least 4 other couples that were there were all people that I helped buy a house. So I brought my wife over, and you know, she was asking me because she knew some of them, but she didn't know everyone. I was like, "Oh, did you help them? Did you help them?" And I'm looking at them as they're going around with their kids, and so some of them didn't yet have kids when they bought the house.
Yeah.
The house was the first thing.
So they
Yeah.
got married, or maybe they were engaged. There was one that was engaged. There was one that was married, and some of them didn't have kids yet. Now they got kids, and I see them walking around, and inside, I don't know. It's hard to describe, but it just feels so good
Yeah.
that I feel like I'm a part of, like, you know, helping them get.
You enabled them to
Create a
start
family.
that
Yeah,
chapter of their
I was
life.
just a part of it. Like, and you know, I'm thankful that they trusted me and we got it done. That's my favorite part. You know, I got a client right now selling her house, her and her husband, and the husband is so attached to the house because he invested so much time. He's meticulous with the house and he knows everything about it that he doesn't want to sell it
It's
because
like building a car.
That's Frankie.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like building a car and it becomes your baby. And so the wife, you know, it's time for them to definitely move on. The kids are now grown, they're out of the house. And the wife always tells me, Ken, you know, with her husband, if I could just always be mindful of when there's people viewing the house or the inspector, because the buyer had a home inspected there, just if you could be present just to make sure that he's comfortable. And she will text me. She texted me right before July 4th, or the day before, and she said, you know, I just want to thank you. Like, it's almost emotional how the husband is not even that worried. I mean, he's always a little worried, but he's actually looking forward to the next step. You know, and to me, like, it sounds kind of I hate that it sounds cliche, but I really, really enjoy it. So
No, that's awesome. I mean, I'm glad to see someone that enjoys their career like that.
I love it.
That's just important.
Damn, Frankie.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say?
Dude, that's great. I mean,
I love it.
You're getting me choked up just hearing about this.
Well, listen, you guys, right? So there's this video I always watch. It's on YouTube.
Okay.
When I was going through a really rough time in my life, financially, with a job, with a lot of stuff, and even now I played, and it got to the point where I could almost mouth the whole video word for word. But when I watched the video on YouTube, the words ring true. And there's this one phrase he says where if you could find what you do for a living, but you apply it to what you love. So like you guys love cars, right? So like you come here and obviously you're going to run through struggles or because it's a business. right?
Yeah.
Ups and downs, roller coaster stuff. But if you can maintain what you love while doing it, that will keep you on track, right?
Yeah.
So like with real estate, my mentor, when he told me if I could see the same Kenny that I used to look up to when he was out there talking shit to people and then racing and winning, some people remember me, and that's the way I remember myself. Like, but it was more than just winning; it was like a mindset. So I wanted to apply that to real estate, and that's why the whole racing realtor became like a joke at first.
I know. Yeah, that's how I.
Yeah.
I didn't. I don't even know about this. This is like
Kenny,
the name.
aka the racing realtor.
Is that
dude.
just what your friends say, or is that
So
like?
it started as a joke with my friends because I used to go with my cars to viewings. I had a Type R.
Okay.
I didn't even have the Evo anymore, and they used to be like, "Oh yeah, what are you, the racing realtor?" But I was always trying to work on this mindset that to really love what I did, and so I tie in cars and my passion with cars into real estate. I don't know if that makes sense, but so like okay,
No. Your same passion, the same drive. You
Same
apply.
drive.
I mean, that part. I
Frankie doesn't
understand.
understand because I have a. You don't. You're different. You are living that. You just don't know.
I'm living the
You're-
car dream.
You just
Right.
don't
I
know
guess.
it. You just
So-
don't know it. Like you
Well-
love 240s. You love cars. Not specifically just 240s, but you love cars.
I
and
don't.
it keeps you
Yeah.
in the building.
Yeah.
Right.
Aside from the fact that if you leave here, you're going to jail.
Wait, what?
But
wait, why
but
you
like
go to jail though?
I don't know. I'm just gonna assume everything you do nowadays
Is it
gets
because
you in
you're
jail.
a street drifter at night?
Yeah. Now I'm gonna
But-
start drag racing.
But like the cars and shit, you like cars. Keeps you here.
Yeah.
That's what keeps you on track.
Well, I mean, I think I like
Why do you
cars
think-
more before I. did this.
that
Well, so I understand that part because now it becomes like a
Chris
job.
definitely liked cars more before he.
Well, that's because so it's funny because I have a really good friend that's a mechanic, and like your demeanor kind of reminds me of him now. And the more you talk about him, I'm like, man, it reminds me of my boy.
Yeah.
Because my boy loves cars, and then he became a mechanic. He did it for a living, and you know when you work on cars all day, no matter how much you love it, it becomes a pain in the ass,
Yeah.
and like you might lose that passion sometimes because it becomes work. So it's like a balance, bro. But everything's mindset. Man.
Yeah, it is mindset. Chris gets reignited sometimes. You see it happen.
I mean, like the only reason why I sit behind maybe not the only reason, but like a good chunk of why I am able to sit behind the desk all day is because I'm like, yeah, that 1J is gonna be sick, and then I'm back there typing away.
No, I mean I get what you're saying with the confidence though.
Oh, okay. So
You need to have that drive though. You use the drive somewhere else.
So besides my family, right? Besides, I don't even think about the money. Like when I'm doing deals, I don't think about my money. I don't count my money, unless I'm putting into the system to like just get an idea of what's projected for the business side.
Yeah.
But I don't think about the money. But I do think about the cars. So I think about the mods I want to do, the events I want to go to, if I want to buy a car, and that's my motivation. So I'll be like, damn,
Yep.
man, I'm losing my motivation here. I mean, obviously I got to pay for my bills and my family, but damn, like,
mean, to be
but
honest,
I want to buy Chris's S13. So the day he tells me it's ready, right? Because you know I love it. So like, yeah, I love your car. I'm definitely gonna get an S13 coupe one day.
Yeah.
So you know that's my motivation. I'm gonna get like a '57 Bel Air. I'm gonna go drifting. So, but it all costs money.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I feel like it's almost better the way you have it right now. Cuz like, I mean, we could just use me as an example. But I'm not working in the shop all day. I'm just doing everything else.
Right.
But my car's been sitting there for 2 years.
yeah.
I have like almost zero
I
drive.
thought that
to
it
go
was
work on
longer
car.
than that. Hold on a minute. Wait, yeah, it's been longer than
It's 3 in September. Who's
that. I'll
counting?
trust it. How many
Uh,
days?
I got like almost no drive to work on that car. The only drive I have to work on that car is Carl annoying me
Yeah.
every week. And then honestly now podcast people wanting me to see if
I want to see it now.
yeah.
Do it for yourself.
I have no interest.
Well, fuck. Do it for everybody else then.
I have no there you go. Yeah, like it's gonna be cool when it's together. Mostly because we can use that space for
Or
work.
another, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's your goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I can split up another space.
Yeah,
Well,
but yeah, so hearing you talk about cars and mods and stuff like that, I'm like, damn, that sounds kind of cool. Because
I think
I'm
you
not
just need
really
to
used
fire it up once.
Yeah,
and like,
yeah.
because
I
there
mean, don't
will,
get me wrong, I like drifting. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I'm just, that initial like push to really get it going is just like
I feel like that's
No.
like there's like woes with that though. Like there's highs and lows. There's motivators and there's opposite of motivators. But like, you know, like you drive one car or you go sit in another thing. Like even like seeing the Type R outside, I'm sitting there, I'm looking at it, I'm like, damn, this thing's clean as shit.
Yeah.
Like, motivator, let me go home and clean my shit.
Yeah.
So that I don't have to buy a Type R.
You know what it is? It's a
You don't need to buy one though. You got an IS, bro.
Yeah.
it's just
simple.
like it's a project. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's a lot of work. So every time you see it, you're like, "Ugh." Once you get to a certain point in the project, then
You get excited.
my
Right.
point in the project is always when stuff is painted.
Right.
So when the engine bay is painted, then it's gonna go like nothing because I'm gonna want to see it come together.
Right.
But when when you're doing all the fabrication
Alright,
and
well, we're
welding
right
and everything,
there.
you're like, dude, like you can't see it. You know what I mean? So you're just like,
now that you said that,
talk to your boy Ethan because he's the one that's
he's a
gotta
busy
weld that
guy.
thing.
He got a life too.
I talked to him.
I hope he hears this because I'm tired of
He's
backing
probably
his
watching
ass
it
up
right now.
every time I back Ethan up. I'm like, he's a busy guy. I know he's a busy guy.
Ethan knows he's got to come here, man. We talked about it on Sunday. He's like, I was like, you want to come here? Actually, he was supposed to be here today, but forgot to talk to him. I was like, are you working on your car? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna work on my car on Monday. This and that. I was like, all right, fine, because your car needs to get done too. So
This
that's
car's
fine.
gonna be done before yours.
definitely,
Jesus. You're
definitely,
gonna get abducted by an alien before your car gets
it
done,
might happen.
and then it'll never happen again.
If we keep talking about him on these podcasts,
That happened to me.
The aliens are gonna. Oh yeah,
That happened to
okay.
me. I'm gonna talk about this on the podcast.
He has
real
a
quick.
weird story he has to tell us.
The other night, I'm sitting there. I have this little sunroom. For those of you who are listening right now who are not into the alien thing, just know there's going to be a quick tangent. I'll
Dude, there's
get
a
right
lo-
back to it.
I think every single person that listens to this podcast wants to hear more about aliens than cars.
Oh, I want to hear about it.
That's because we're all aliens.
Hey.
It was the aliens' planet first,
Probably was
and then they're like, what the hell are these guys doing here?
the creators.
But anyway, so I'm sitting in this little sunroom. That's where I have my computer and my little streaming setup. If you haven't tuned in my stream, I'm going to plug it right here. Carl from Faction at Twitch. Check it out. I stream Car X and Aceto. Anyway, I'm on my computer, and like I have headphones on, and like I shouldn't be able to hear anything. And then like the whole room like was like not shaking, but like you could hear a noise audibly through your feet. That makes sense. You
Is it,
know
like,
something
vibrating or something?
not vibrating, but you know something's like resonating sound. So then I like do one of these.
Take the headphones.
You know,
off.
I'm like, is that this video I'm watching? Like, what the fuck is going on? And then it wasn't. So immediately I think of all of my friends, Frankie, Alex, Ethan, Malcolm, Chris. I don't know if you're into the whole alien thing as much as we are right now, but I think of all of you, mind you. So if I did get in trouble, just know it was only because of how much curiosity you guys have sparked in me.
Did you think you were getting abducted?
No, I wanted to see this thing.
Oh my
like, and
God.
that's not me. That's not me. That's not me. You know this.
So you took the headphones off.
So I took the headphones off. I had a flashlight on my desk. I went to my front door, went outside. I'm
Did you
looking
tell
up.
the streaming guests that you were going
I
to
wasn't
look for
streaming at the
aliens?
time.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it was kind of late too. It was like midnight or maybe past midnight.
That's when they come.
And like I was,
Yep.
and I'm walking outside. I'm looking around. I'm like, what the fuck is making this noise? Like it sounded
You're
like
outside and it's still happening?
and it's still making the noise. It sounded like a plane, but there were no planes in sight. Not a single plane.
Dude.
And then I'm so you saw how fast these messages. I'm texting this group chat because I'm like, God forbid something crazy is about to happen right now. I need somebody else to know
That I was abducted by aliens.
real time what's going on. Like I send a message like HEL send. They would help me, but like I'm walking around and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Is this noise? Like, and it was there for a few seconds. at
Wait.
least.
This is on 4th of July.
No, not like that. Not that kind of noise. Not that kind of noise.
All right.
It was a
You think it
long.
was a drone or something?
Dude, no. Shaking the ground?
Wait, so you're outside?
I'm outside
Okay.
now, and it's making now the noise it's clearly louder. I was outside and I was like, what the
How
fuck?
loud is it?
Like, I'm telling you, if I had to compare it, it was like if a plane was landing
Landing?
like you know how it's like that's what I'm saying. The plane.
There's no way it was that loud.
It was loud, bro. You're telling me I have my headphones on? Okay, I'm watching YouTube videos. I have two screens, so I was watching a TV show and I'm watching a YouTube video on my headphones that Chris politely lent me. Like they're big headphones like this, and I had to have felt it because I'm checking it.
How long has it been happening at this point?
It happened one time. Don't you
no,
know?
I
that-
mean like how long?
this whole
is
thing
this
happened
noise
within
happening?
this whole thing happened within 30 seconds because I was there.
That's it?
I was there. I'm checking. It's making the noise. It's like loud. And then I run outside. I grab flashlight, run outside. I'm looking around. At least a few more seconds, and it's like 5 seconds from my little sunroom to the door. So like 30 seconds worth of noise. And the whole time, whoosh, like all my fucking arm, like all the hair on my body, like stood up. Like
That was a plane, Carl.
no, it wasn't.
I
shit
don't
you
know.
not.
You said 30 seconds.
It was too loud
I'm
to
thinking
be.
it's a plane now.
I don't know. I would have seen it. You see by my house, I could see straight into the sky.
I don't know.
And it was like loud, like above me, like not like here or over
So
there where
there
you're
was
here.
no lights or anything though.
No.
Okay.
Not
Did
a
the noise
single-
just stop?
And the sky was clear.
Or did it fade away?
The noise stopped. Like it went.
Stopped.
Like it was loud. It didn't soar away like a plane, bro. It didn't soar away like a plane. It didn't just like.
Yeah,
Like,
did
it-
it do that?
No, it was like maybe, I don't know. I went inside.
You would remember if it did that.
I started to freak out a little bit because every hair on my arm,
crazy.
like
You
all
heard
the
a
hair on my,
plane, and then it just turned off.
every hair on my body was like up. So I was like, you know what? All right, it's nothing. I'm gonna go back inside and text the group chat.
Dude, they're listening to the podcast.
I'm
They're coming
fucked.
for you.
I'm fucked.
Yeah, they're definitely listening right now.
I was so scared.
That's got to be what it is.
But yeah, no, that
man.
happened. That happened. I shit you not. And it was late at
So on
night.
a scale from 1 to 10, how scared were you?
I was very like the haunted house is like a 10.
Oh my god, you should have seen this poor guy when we brought him to a haunted house.
Oh, you.
Oh my.
Was a haunted house a
God,
10?
dude.
Because then I'm gonna
Yes.
say like a
Yes.
7.
Okay.
Because I'm telling you, like I started to get like weird feelings. I'm like, maybe I should actually not do this and go back inside and mind my own business. Mind your
Could you go to
business.
sleep?
Huh?
Were you scared to go to sleep?
No, not that scared. But
See, I'm scared of aliens.
Are you?
it's
Like, if
just 'cause
something happened like that to me and I really didn't think it was a plane,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have went to sleep that night.
I would be scared too.
Yeah. I would have been
it's
so
the
scared.
fact Frankie got me scared of him because
I watched too many movies.
yeah, you don't really know what's real right now. So you're like, which one of these stories is it?
Yep.
Like who was the one who was telling us a story about the one running next to them?
Damien.
Damien. Yeah, when he was on tour, we had our other friend from Car Shop Kuroshi that we met on here, Damien, and he said that there was a
He
Like
didn't even like talking about it because he was like, "This sounds insane."
like
He's
a
"But
wet
I'm gonna say it anyway."
skinwalker type of figure running in the field at the same speed as the bus.
Yeah, he said they were driving a bus, they were on tour, something like that, and then he said he looked over, and he saw like something running or a figure like in like the. It was kind of like a cornfield, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like a cornfield.
Like running. He said he felt like it was running the same speed as the truck was going. He said he woke up the guy next to him to look, and he confirmed it. He's like, "Yeah, what is that?" And they're all freaking out.
Also, someone else.
So
saw
that's
it.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Oh.
That's what I was doing with the group chat. I was kind of hoping like if something did happen, I would be like, "Yo,
Dude, I
beam of light sucking me up."
I wish
that
you
story-
recorded it, bro. Like,
yeah.
I know it was quick.
It's
so.
quick. It's mainly I was mainly doing it there for liability purposes.
Yeah, yeah.
They're coming. They're coming though. They're coming.
How do you like you ever like have you because you sell a bunch of different houses,
Yeah.
not just like new houses or
Bro.
any specific category. Like you got old houses.
Have
And
I
see
seen
the
weird stuff?
What's the weirdest thing you've ever
All right,
seen?
This is a true story. This is before I became a realtor, though. So before I became a realtor, so I started Central, right?
Yeah.
And when I was doing Central back in the early, like 2010, 2011, 2012, I was doing a lot of the photos. So I was a photographer. So back then, I was involved with like some flipping of homes, you know,
Okay.
and I would take photos of the homes. And when I was taking photos, I would start working with realtors. So I was working with this one realtor, and he didn't like to go to the properties with me. So he'd say, "Listen, go here. The seller's going to meet you at the door, and you're just going to do the photos, but whatever." So there was this one house where he said, "Listen, it's vacant, but there's multiple properties on this property. I mean, multiple homes on this property. There's the main house, and then there's these two smaller houses, and there's tenants living in the two smaller houses, but the main house is vacant." So he's like, "Listen, you got to take pictures of the main house." So I was like, "All right, cool, whatever."
Yeah.
So I
kind of already laughing now, so I'm like, what's about to happen here?
This
I
is
saw
a
a
true
demon.
story.
Watch this.
I don't know what it was, but I know it really happened. So I get there, and I see the two houses, and I see the lights on, so people are home. But I got to go to the main house. And the main house, there's this dumpster in front of the garage because they were doing work. And it was unlocked. The house was unlocked, right? So the main house was a distance away from the other small houses. So it's not like, the neighbors could see me going in. They
Yeah,
probably weren't even paying attention.
Yeah.
And so I get out of my car. I walk to the front door, and I remember you got to walk up this little hill to the front door. You got to walk around. It's like almost walking to the back of the house because the front of the house faces like this small pond. It was a big property. It was a multi-million-dollar like property. And so I opened the door, and I'm by myself, mind you. I
You
opened it.
bugging for that already.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I was already scared. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I was
see?
already scared
Yep.
because I
Was
never.
what time was it?
It was the afternoon, so probably like 4 or 5 o'clock.
Okay.
It was still sunny, but it was like the sun was starting to come down. It wasn't as bright. And I opened this door, and I'll never forget it. And as you opened the door, the whole interior was gutted.
Okay.
So there was nothing in there. It was like you see the wood, you see the studs,
Yeah.
but it's this huge house. So I opened the door, I walk in, and as I walk in, I feel like something weird. Like you feel like you're not alone.
Yep.
So-
Malcolm's freaking out already.
No, so this is
Yeah, Malcolm already got
So-
goosebumps.
all right, so check this out, and this is why it gives me goosebumps thinking about it because
Yeah,
I'll
that's
never,
how you know it fucked you up.
it fucked me up. And yeah, and I never went back, and I told my client, I'm like, well, listen, like they got mad because they thought I was
Yeah.
bugging out, but I told them, I said, listen, I felt something in there, so I opened the door, I go inside, I could feel like something's wrong, and it felt like there was something around my head, like almost like it was pressing my
Like
head.
a weight.
It didn't feel like a weight. It felt like someone, but it didn't feel like hands. It just felt like a pressure was like
Okay.
on my head.
Yeah.
Like I was like, what the fuck? Like
Yeah.
Like if I just go up to you and I just start pushing your head.
Yeah, but it didn't feel like hands.
But it didn't feel like hands. It just felt like
Yeah.
this pressure was on my head, and the fucking door slams behind me, bro. The fucking door slams behind me.
Well, it could have been the wind. Me, I would be like,
It could have
"You know
been the
what?
wind.
So
That was the wind.
I would say it was the wind, except that this pressure I get goosebumps thinking about it because I still remember like it was yesterday. The pressure felt like something was trying to like hurt me.
Yeah.
Like it felt like my head was like they were trying to like.
They didn't
squeeze
give
my
you
head.
1 minute to walk around in that house.
No, I walked in and within 30 seconds I felt something weird. I left the door open on purpose because I felt like something was weird. And the minute I felt this little pressure in the door slam, I just fucking ran the fuck out.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
I would have
dude.
been
Yeah.
so fucking gone.
And I took pictures of the exterior because like I was there for work.
Yeah.
And then nothing in the interior. I told my client, listen.
I mean, what are they going to do with the interior photos anyway, right?
Square
he was
footage,
mad.
rough
Yeah,
estimate
yeah.
of
My client was upset.
renovations and stuff.
He was not happy, but that was a true story. So I definitely believe that there's and I'm a Christian, so but I also believe that whether it's aliens or whether it's demons or whatever,
That
we're
was a
definitely,
demon.
100% there was a demon
Yeah.
because that was 100%. God knows
Yeah.
line. That was a real situation, and I still get goosebumps. Thinking
I'm
about
a big ghost believer.
I
And-
get-
and
I
pretty
too.
much a demon believer too. I'm not religious, but I kind of do believe in that stuff.
I got like I always get like weird feelings that like I'll be home alone and like I don't really have a problem being home alone, but like I'll just be like doing something like going up the stairs and then in my mind like I'll like look from here to there and in my head there's something like right here and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, what was that? And I'll just I'm constantly like fucking
I feel like that's psychological.
yeah, that's just
All
me
right.
being crazy.
well,
Not crazy, but
I got another quick story
All right, go.
because
go.
it's a true story too. So
I could do this all night. So.
yeah, all right. So this is actually because you reminded me about this one.
Oh shit.
So my next door neighbor that I grew up with, so my parents' house, the next door neighbor was this guy and his wife. They were older than us, obviously elderly. The wife died in the house. Now she died of I think it was old age or whatever. But she was sick for a long period of time, dementia, and they put her bed in the dining room. So that she could look out the window because that gave her peace. And she died in the house. So years later, my mom's friend comes by the house, and as she's pulling up in the driveway, she told my mom, she goes, "Oh, that lady was so nice." And my mom was like, "What lady?" She goes, "Oh, there was a lady that was wearing a white dress sitting on the steps in front of your next door." And she described her, and they described my neighbor because she was like a heavyset lady,
Yeah.
white heavyset lady. But we knew that she passed away, that the only guy in there was the husband. There was no lady in there. But to this day, and my mother's friend still, that's how I mean, she's still alive.
Yeah.
So maybe I should go ask her if just to verify the
information.
because I asked her years ago, and she said, "Yeah, I saw the lady." But now I feel like I should ask her again.
You
Maybe I'm
should
going
ask
crazy.
her if that happens to her often, because maybe she's like a
Oh,
medium.
maybe this might be her. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of weird. Maybe it is her.
You know what I mean?
Like a medium, so we could talk
Yeah,
to
like
others.
well, you
Like
know, how
maybe
some people can see
100%.
past the veil.
Yeah.
and see. Like
They have-
maybe that happens to her
Maybe.
often.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna ask her.
Yeah,
Jesus.
No,
and
because
maybe
I-
she doesn't even know.
No, well, the thing is, my mom was just talking about her a couple of days ago.
That's terrifying.
No, so like,
God damn it.
no, because she's getting ready to sell her house, so it came up.
yeah.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah,
But
so-
like, imagine being like, let's just say that is the situation,
right,
and she doesn't think anything's wrong because she saw a lady,
right,
but you guys know that the lady's not there.
yeah.
Imagine all the other times that happens to her, and like,
And she sees shit, she don't even know it.
yeah,
Oh man.
and it's like the Sixth Sense. I don't know if you ever saw that movie.
Oh, I
but
love that movie.
That
I
movie's
also-
amazing.
I also think it's definitely there's some truth to it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's a movie, obviously, but
Yeah, yeah.
what you think about like people seeing things? I mean, sure, why not?
yeah.
You know?
Hey, there's crazier shit in this world, right?
Yeah.
This shit freaking me out.
Malcolm's over there dying. I don't know what happened to you.
It's just because like I'm telling you, there's just like a lot
Actually, you
of
know what?
dark areas in my house.
Malcolm has a story about this stuff.
Why?
We should let him tell. us.
Why? What did you do?
He's over here in the cut.
Malcolm's gonna talk. Let's hear it. I wanna hear it.
Malcolm's going to tell us his ghost story because you know what? Malcolm's ghost story was one of my favorite ones I ever heard.
Was it?
Look at him shit.
I never heard this. Are we even friends, dude?
Actually, you
I got one for you guys after
you
we
did
hear
hear
Malcolm's
it.
real quick.
You already know it.
He didn't. He wasn't there.
Are you sure?
No. Oh wait.
Yeah, he was there.
Oh yeah, he was there.
Yeah.
He was there.
Put the webcam on.
Put
Oh.
the webcam on. Come on now.
It's gonna be real awkward.
Dim the lights.
If you're not tuned into our YouTube portion, Malcolm is on the camera.
All right. So this is probably like 15 years ago or something. It was my whole. It's my whole family. We're in the car. And
Where,
there's like
where you live? Where were you at?
this is in Howell, Monmouth County.
Turn the lights off, Chris.
And then so there's like a little dirt patch. When you
Oh, I
take
do
the turn,
remember this.
Take the turn to my house, then my driveway is the second house on the right. So then we take the turn, we drive past a little dirt patch, and we just see a little girl
He's getting
or
scared
little
right now.
little woman sitting crisscross applesauce in the middle of the dirt patch, like head down, crying. You could see she's crying just by her motions, but you couldn't see her face.
What was she wearing?
I can't remember, but I don't know what she was wearing exactly. But she had black hair. I remember that.
So it was a girl from the ring.
Stop. Stop.
That's what you're describing.
Yes.
Kind of.
The
So,
little the bitch that
It's,
comes out of the
always
TV.
it's always the same.
yeah, yeah.
girl.
So we see
Got
that
the
little
dress
girl
on.
sitting there. We see that little girl sitting there, and then we literally all look at each other. My whole family, 6 of us in the car. We go,
6.
yeah. We go, yo, what was that?
6 of
We're-
you.
It's like white. Yeah, 6 of us.
You all saw it?
Yes, we all saw it, and we said, was that a little girl crying right there? We're like, yo, is she good? So we pass her, and then my driveway is the second driveway on the right. So we go in the driveway, do a quick U-turn, and come back, and she's gone. She's gone. Oh,
Yo.
stop. Turn the lights on. Turn the lights on.
he freaked out.
She was gone, dude. I don't know where she
She
could have
went back
gone
into the
to.
woods.
Yeah, did she go in the woods?
I don't know. I don't know.
You was it quick? Like what?
Dude, we passed her. My driveway is literally another 4 seconds. We in 4 seconds, we hit the driveway and turn around. Because my driveway is like a U shape, so you can make it easy. You don't even have to do a K turn, nothing. You just go in and out, circle back around. We pass her, and it's gone. Gone. And my little sister's bawling, crying, just like, what the fuck? She didn't say fuck, but she's like, what was it? She was like crying, like she thought she saw a fucking ghost.
I mean, you apparently you all did.
Yeah, and we were just like, okay, let's go home. Bye.
Oh my god.
You-
We didn't even look for that little bitch.
As a parent in that situation, yeah, I would be like, all right, that's fine. We're gonna go home now, and then
Call the police.
Meet my
And-
significant
Yeah.
other. Motherfucker! Holy shit! Let's go. Let's get the fuck inside.
I think
She
when
was
you,
gone.
When you told me originally, you were like, there was really nowhere for her to go.
There's it in the amount of time that we turned around, you would have seen her walking down the
Because
road.
didn't you say it was an empty lot or something next?
It's like a little empty field where the electrical lines are. Well, you know those big tower things that hold the electrical lines that are
Yep.
shaped like a T.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what's behind that little dirt lot.
Jesus.
Yo,
But-
real quick. 5 people left during Malcolm's story.
They're like, oh nah, fuck that, turn it off.
They're like, nah.
Yeah, so that's my story. That's the scariest story I ever had.
Yo, I got
Hi.
one more real quick.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
let's hear it.
Let's go.
Right before I got here, I was talking to my boy George. I don't know if he's watching right now, but I told him to check in if he could. I was helping him and his friend, and we were looking at a house in Yonkers. And if you're George, if you're listening, this is about you. So we entered into the house, and he's a car guy, So we entered the house, and he said, "Man, this house feels a little funny, right?"
Oh shit.
So this is how I know, like, people that
People
feel
can
things.
sense- yeah,
they
they're
can sense
sensitive.
things.
There's a name for that, but
There is, and I think he said that sometimes he
Raven.
has those experiences. So this is a true story. We go into the house, and he said, "Oh, it felt a little funny, like he feels a little off."
I already don't like
Bro,
that.
let me tell you.
he
damn.
said that shit when he walked in there.
When we walked in, he said the house felt kind of funny. Yeah, and so this is before we went to the basement. So we go to the basement, and we didn't see anything crazy. But what we did, maybe it is a little crazy. When we go to the basement, it's just like the walls are wood paneling, like from like the 80s or 70s.
Oh my god.
Right?
The scariest looking ones.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
I used to have that in my house.
So,
Of course you did.
but what was scary was there was a room down there where the locks were reversed, right? So instead of locking from the inside, it's locked from the outside. And then inside the room there was like religious stuff, like crosses and stuff. And the windows had bars, and you could just feel. And he's like, "Yo, something weird happened in this room." But the thing that's crazy is he said something when we first got into the house, not when we saw the basement. So,
I already know what that
just 2
room
plus
is.
2. I don't
That's
even
an
know.
exorcism room.
No, that's a
I-
lock your kids up because you
That's
want
what
them
it felt
to
like.
learn.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
It felt like something happened, like maybe it's like torture. I don't know.
Not
like-
even like
or
I
discipline.
am not even going there, but like some parents are sick, dude. They'll throw you in that room, and be like, read the Bible, like,
Something
and they'll
like that.
lock them in there.
Yeah.
Dude, that happened to Miyagi. I'm pretty sure
We had they didn't call
they
it.
had a math room.
It-
A
we
math
didn't
room.
call it a math room, but we just weren't allowed to go outside or leave the room until you did some worksheets.
Oh.
Were there bars on the window?
bars in
Nah,
the
it
door,
was a
or
normalized
lock on
door.
the outside of the
I
room.
could go to the bathroom.
and
Dude.
religious shit, bro. Like,
Yeah, that is terrifying. Wait, so what did he say going in?
no, we left. We were
Oh,
like,
oh.
"Yo, we gotta leave."
Oh no, I thought you said. I thought he said something before you guys went into the house.
Oh,
Well,
no,
he just
so
said he felt uncomfortable.
He just said that when we entered the house, the minute we entered, he felt like the house fell off, and he made that comment. And his friend that was with us, that was looking to buy the house, she was like, "Man, George always makes these comments about some of these old houses."
yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, sometimes I feel things." And then sure enough, this is before we went down. That's
Oh, he's
listen.
definitely one of
I don't know if
those.
he's listening right now, but this is how I know that, like, the shit you're talking about, that some people sense things.
Yeah.
He's one of them. And it came, you just reminded me when you were talking about like seeing the girl and like people, because I was literally talking to him about this before I pulled into your driveway. today.
Yeah.
Not about this house, but about just to him about stuff. And it was kind of weird. So
I mean, the fact that he said that when he just walked into the house, yeah, that's unless he just does it all the time as a joke. You know what I
nah,
mean?
well,
But-
we're always joking around. But he said that. And then we went to the basement and we were like, "Yo, what the fuck is this?" Because
he was probably like, "Yep,
They s-
told you."
The locks were still there. The room was like obviously looked a little suspect. There was like a small window with like bars, so like no one could like open that window to get out if you had to. And I can understand. Well, I can understand if it was for safety, if someone breaking in. But the thing is, there was a lock on the outside of the door to go in. Like, and it wasn't like a lock, like like a doorknob. It looked like a lock, like
To keep someone in there.
to keep someone in there, And then there was like crosses inside there and stuff with like Jesus and rosary stuff. So I don't know, it just looked really weird, and it made us feel real uncomfortable. And we
Oh my
like,
God. Dude. So that house is for sale.
I would have
somewhere.
been so
Oh, that
fucking
house-
out of there.
yo, I mean, in this market, that house went quick, man. That house is gone, bro.
They
No,
said some demon stuff in the basement. That ain't no problem.
no problem. It was a corner house, nice property, good sized house, So that was gone.
It's got a nice secure room in the basement.
Hey,
Yeah,
listen,
nice secure room.
use
Lock
that as a
your-
game room.
Yeah.
All right, guys, just do your math
I have to
work,
say
folks.
that's the most disturbing story out of everyone's tonight.
You
For
think
me,
so? Oh, I
for
don't
me
know.
it is. Yeah.
Well, that really did happen,
Because there's a lot of different things that room could have
feel
been,
like
and none
calling
of
in-
them are really good.
I feel like calling George, be like, "Yo, George, you want to talk in this thing?"
But what I don't like is that that shit happens.
dude, that shit happens
Like,
all the time.
I
too.
know.
and no one knows about it. I was thinking about this the other day.
Well, nah, because a part of me growing up, I'm just like the whole time I'm like, why do I still believe in this shit? Like that shit not gonna do anything to me. But what if it can?
Like demons and whatnot.
Yeah, like growing up, you're like, why am I scared of the dark? Like, let me just walk in the dark. and then I'll walk in the dark, like on the middle of a dark ass street, for like maybe 10 seconds, and then I'll just start sprinting out of like hell, like going home.
That's psychological.
Like it's hard, but the thing is that stuff happens. You experience it, like the alien, like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna call it. It could be a plane. It could have been a helicopter, but there was no helicopter.
You just didn't see anything. From your perspective, that shit was an alien.
There, I can see a fair amount of the sky from where my house is. It's literally on top of a hill compared to the other houses.
Yeah.
I can look straight up, and I can look a good amount around. Not a plane in sight. Just saying.
Did you see that thing in Vegas where like it was like maybe a month ago?
Yeah. Wait, you're talking about the crash?
Yeah, the crash.
Yeah.
Is it
So
re- I don't know if it's real or
didn't,
not,
I
but-
didn't like listen to anything. I just hear what other people are saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently they called the cops. They're like, yeah, something crashed in our backyard. This that. Okay, well, where is it?
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm
Dude,
wondering.
the military took that away, bro. That shit is
Well,
gone, locked away.
Area 51 is real though,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
and right by the Vegas airport there is damn, I don't know.
Nah, yo.
What? How crazy? What kind of information you dropping right
No,
now?
I'm not dropping anything.
Are you talking about the Vegas
that you
trenches?
might not be able to Google, but
we gonna have the FBI coming here? Or?
Nah, but that, like so I had a friend that he was offered a job
At
to go and you take a plane, right?
Yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And they'll bring you to some location in the middle of the desert.
Yep.
And
What's the name of it?
but you can't. I don't remember the
Don't
name.
look at me, dude. I'm learning right now.
And,
Shh.
and even if I did, I don't want to say it over here. Yeah, I just realized I'm talking on a podcast. Like you get so comfortable, you start talking
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. That's how we get you.
Yeah, that's how you get you. Next thing you know, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
like in trouble and shit.
Wait. So what is it?
No,
They-
this-
they
this-
bring
this
you
is-
over there and
this is
beat you with
known-
a rake. What do they?
No, like
That's how you get to work.
that's how you get to work.
That's what happened with Bob Lazar.
But the thing is, you don't know
Where you're going.
Where you're going. You just show up at the airport, and you get on a plane, and the plane will go wherever it goes. You're supposed to give your phones. Like you're not supposed to tell your family if you know. Like no one's supposed to know where you're going, and you work for the government, for a division of the government, and it's real. Like he told me, and he was like, I didn't want to do it because he had a family and stuff like that. But in his line of work, because he's like into technology and stuff. He was offered a job there, and he was like, he didn't take it.
Well, the guy that Frankie's talking about,
So Bob Lazar.
he got a job because he slapped a rocket engine on the back of a Honda Civic.
Hey,
Yeah, someone saw him and they're like, "Oh, you'd be good
Oh,
at
damn,
this."
this
Yeah.
guy's
Real?
probably an
Same
alien.
situation that you're talking about, probably the same exact place.
what?
I forget the name of it. It's not Area 51, but it's right. It's on the same.
It's on the same thing. It's
Yeah.
like in the desert.
Yeah.
It's probably the same. I
they
forgot the
call
name.
it a name. I don't. I'm trying to look it up, but I can't find it. But
I thought
yeah.
you were talking about Fast and Furious with the rocket.
Oh no,
Yeah,
no.
on the Fiero?
I mean,
Yeah.
he basically built that shit. Yeah, but he came out years ago about working there and about all this alien technology they have. So he's like the number one whistleblower for Area 51 stuff.
Bob
Lazar.
Okay,
Yeah.
Lazar.
That guy might even know it. Your buddy. He might
I'll
know
ask
it.
him.
He probably does know of him.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll tell us he's crazy.
Maybe I'm paranoid right
Maybe
now.
Yeah.
maybe he'll be like, man, that guy was in the break room smoking meth.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't take the job.
He
But
didn't take it.
He
Okay.
didn't take the job.
Yeah.
From what I understood, because he had a family, young
Yeah.
family, and he was like, listen, like, he goes, and he considered it because it sounded cool.
Yeah.
But he didn't do it.
Dude, the shit Bob Lazar talks about is so his boss knew that his wife was having an affair before he knew.
What?
Because they
all
tapped
the-
into all the phones.
All the phones are tapped.
That's crazy.
And then they fired him and they said, your wife's having an affair with you. We can't trust you anymore because we don't know what you're gonna do
Right.
when you find out. And by the way, you're finding out now. All right,
my,
you're fired.
my bad. You're fired.
Yeah.
About to Google that later, man.
Yeah. Oh, you'll fall deep. There's a Joe Rogan podcast. It's like 3 hours long. Yeah. It's fucking scary because the guy seems legit.
Yeah. That's
you're-
insane, bro.
Yeah. That's definitely the scariest alien
Bob
thing.
Lazar.
Yeah. Scariest alien thing I ever heard of was him. And then that other one that you listened to.
With the lumberjack guy.
No, not even him, because he's a little
Oh,
wishy-washy.
the older guy who sounds when he's talking, it sounds like they literally wiped his brain.
That guy has like a whole abduction story. I'm like, I don't know about
I wonder
all
if
that.
aliens like cars, though, man.
Probably.
They probably raced their
Right?
shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, they must, right? Like,
I mean, I would think so.
Dude, I think that they would race their shit.
Would they like our simple ass cars, or
But
would they be?
I think that this is what would happen. Yeah, and this shit's gonna be accurate as fuck.
Okay.
I think the alien would come down here and see an S13 with like done up in like the way that we like. Yeah, maybe Chris's car, and then be like, "Damn,
Let me know if you're selling it.
what
bro.
is up with that? Like, oh, that's kind of cool. So then they go back to their ship and they're like, damn, we should take some of that old shit and put it on here.
They're boring ass ships. that
Yeah,
are
and
just,
then,
like, flying
they're like, you
saucers.
know what? That's kind of cool. Like, I'm gonna make my shit two-tone.
Hey.
Like, just like how I'm telling you, that's how it works. Like, as if like us seeing, at least for me, like I'll look at older race cars, like the Goodwood,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
like type stuff, or like older Japanese race cars, and I'm like, damn, I'm gonna get that look, like, and then like somehow put it over there onto my shit. That's what they would do. They would be like,
they're-
damn, SR20.
Their spacecrafts are so boring though.
They're gonna make something called the XR20.
Hey.
How do you guys feel? How do you feel about Teslas?
Um,
Not so much the electric car part, but more so how they look. Because some people love these fucking cars. I don't get it.
I think that the Model X looks. I think it's a good looking car.
Yeah.
I think the Y. I think the. I used to like the 3, but I think they look really boring now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look really. I think that the X,
Sometimes I saw one that looked really.
yeah,
I
they
f-
got.
He must have like did the taillights or some shit.
What's the name of the unplug performance?
Oh, maybe it was.
Yeah, they
I think-
have a body kit.
Okay.
Yeah.
They look like an electrical appliance.
Yeah.
to me.
Right. Yeah.
It's like you think about the SUV one, right? You look at it and I'm like, it's not really anything about that makes me go like, damn, like those curves on the car, that
Yeah.
body line is sick. Like, nah, it's an appliance, dude. That's it.
Yeah.
It's
the
a
only
car
reason
with
I
a
bring-
front and a back.
Only reason I bring that up is because I was behind one the other day, and for the first time ever, I was like, that shit kind of looks good.
Was it an X or is it?
It was the car, so
Okay.
I don't know which one that one is.
Yeah.
I mean, it
the-
was
The X is like a really wide one, and it's
maybe
long
it
as
was
shit.
that one.
Yeah, I think the X is probably the good looking one.
I'd want the Lucid.
You know what? I know where
Lucid looks good too.
The Lucid looks sick.
What is that,
It has a long front light. That's all I know about it.
Yeah, 1100 horsepower.
dude? I'm so behind on these things.
Yeah, you're not missing anything.
This is the shit
Yeah.
that this is
Yeah.
what scares me about him though. Okay, and this is also a true story. I'm coming home from somewhere with my roommate Tyler, and we're having a very loud discussion about something I forget. But then a car drives up, and it's a Toyota Crown.
Oh,
I didn't know what the fuck it was. It was just driving past, and it's a big car, very big
Yeah.
car. It looks like a lifted sedan. To those of us who are into Japanese cars, like most of us are, the Crown is a rear-wheel drive car, and it comes with a 1J. But then they made the Mark X, which is, I think it's some sort of GR series engine, like a 2GR, 3GR, whatever the fuck GR. And this Crown is, it says hybrid platinum Crown. And I'm like, what the fuck is that thing, dude? Look it up. Looks it up. He goes, bro, that shit has 340 horsepower. And I was like, what? And it was a normal fucking car.
What year is it? Like
It's
a new one?
It's
brand new.
spanking new, dude.
Yeah,
like
2024.
brand new.
Oh, I must
Had
have
a
not seen
dealer
this.
plate and everything. Like,
It's a Toyota Crown.
it's a Toyota Crown.
I mean,
340
that's an older car, right? Toyota Crown?
340 horsepower.
The older
dude.
ones are. Not, we love them. I
Yeah,
love them
right?
too. So I know you
You
love
kind
them.
of got not really a Crown, but
I have a Cresta,
Oh,
but-
you have a Cresta.
Yeah.
What year?
86.
Okay, so that's the. What chassis is that?
MX something.
73.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the one before.
It's actually called the GX71, but over here in America, the Toyota Cressida is the MX73.
Yeah.
In Japan, it's called the GX71 because of the VIN number. Right-hand drive. It's a 2-liter It's a 2-liter V6.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird.
or inline 6.
Oh, it's inline. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
I said
2 liter
V6. I said V6. Sorry, inline 6. No, it's inline 6.
Those
Yeah.
cars are
Sorry.
cool though. I mean, I definitely liked. I liked that era of the Cressida too more than the next Cressida. I feel like.
I like Miyagi's Cressida.
I don't.
Actually,
I like
no.
his car, but
I like your generation
yeah.
for those body cars. And then if I was gonna get this generation Cressida, I wouldn't, and I would get an LS.
Do you remember when Ilya had one of those cars?
I've never met Ilya, and I feel
Dude,
like I
gotta
should
show
one
you
day.
that,
and
dude.
I
That
just
car was
I like
sick.
his
He had a
FD.
drift-
It's the
he
best
used one for
looking
drifting.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
is basically your car, but
I
the
know. I
Cressida
was going to
version.
say, I'll bring you here if I decide to drift it.
Yeah, I think I seen it because was that the car that you brought to Weckfest?
To Weckfest, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I definitely saw it. What was my other question for you? Oh, before you go, I want to talk about Seven's Day.
Oh, yes.
And your, any
Right.
thoughts on it or? You know?
I love Seven's Day, man. I love what these guys, Edwin, Prov, so when I stepped away from Central,
Yeah.
that's when they went on with Prime.
Okay.
And me walking away from Central for a time to take a break had a lot to do with, I guess family,
Work and
mental break.
stuff.
Car culture. The problem with, at least what I went through with Central, was I'm tired of. I don't like politics.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like dealing with politics, and when people see you doing things in, like, big. Sure, you guys may have experienced this once or twice with with your business, because people know you as a shop. Someone wants you to do one thing one way because someone wants you to do another, and you're trying to please everyone, right?
Yeah.
And eventually you got to do it your way. And I never ever start. I don't do car stuff because I want to make a name for myself. I don't care about. I mean, sure, I like Central, like where we want to promote our our style, but it was never about being anything. Like, I didn't care about being known or knowing people or anything. I just want to have fun.
Yeah.
So I took a step back, and these guys started Prime, and they took what we had started. So with WECFest, I brought it up a long time ago. I never got into it. But with WECFest in 2010 or 2011, when the first year they were here, we approached them about doing this cruise where the night before, where we would showcase the city, and we called it the pregame. And the pregame was literally like, if you think of Sevens Day, but Sevens Day became its own huge entity about Rotaries, but so much more about JDM culture.
Yeah.
But it actually, the precursor to that was the pregame. And the pregame was, the whole idea was we wanted to showcase our city on this platform that WECFest was bringing. Because WECFest at the time was like from the West Coast, and they were in Japan, and they had this this type of culture that was really dope. Like, it was about quality, it was showcasing quality, but it was unique to the way they presented it.
Yeah.
And we were excited that they wanted to showcase the East Coast. But what better way to do it than to not just do it at their show, but also do it on our streets.
Yeah.
So we started the pregame. And the pregame was actually a combination of smaller meets that were well known at the time, like in the 2000 to 2010 years. So we had my boy Umali. I don't know if you ever heard of Chris Umali or the Manhattan Halal Meat, but
That sounds delicious, though.
yeah. So shout out to Chris Umali. He's my boy from years ago. He used to also be into the streets. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, we're older, so we're like retired.
Yeah. Retired from the streets.
Retired from the streets. He has his own thing going. We're family men now, trying to do our thing. But he used to do the Umali Manhattan halal meat, and it was
Yeah.
essentially
53rd and 6th?
53rd and 6th. But he would go to Times Square,
Okay, yeah.
and we would take photos of like the imports going through Times Square.
So that was where that started.
Yeah, this was like in 2007, 2008, 2009.
Wow.
And there was no real social media like it was now. It was kind of starting up, but there was no Instagram yet.
Yeah, no.
Right? It was forums. So we used to do the photos, and it was a lot on a smaller scale, but it was like a takeover. I hate using that word now because now it's such a bad thing.
Yeah.
But we used to talk about taking over the city, and not about doing burnouts. It's about just bringing all the dope cars into the city and just doing a cruise to the city. So we would go through Times Square and then head back up to, we would go to South Street Seaport, and then we would go to end it at Halal. At
And you had like
5036.
different areas you take photos at and stuff.
Yeah. And actually, it wasn't even me. It was Umali that was doing that. He was like, in my mind, he was like the pioneer at the time of doing this type of cruise meetup during a time when there was no social media. But everyone knew Umali for that. Like, that was like, oh, when we're going to go to the city with our Civics and our Evos and our imports, it was because he organized this cruise through the city. It was like really dope. And maybe I'm going to sound old, but the reason I think it was really dope is because we didn't do it to post.
Yeah.
We did it because we were just doing dope shit through the city.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
'Cause it was
and
fun.
to get a photo of that back then, you're like, click.
so
You
on
you
the
got
central
a legitimate
website,
digital camera or something.
yeah, like I kind of regret. There's definitely photos. So like I know Molly because he's a photographer. He 100% has photos. I'm sure if I go through my Facebook back then, I'm
Yeah.
gonna find it on my history.
That's a good part about Facebook.
Thank God, yeah. And even MySpace, like
Hell yeah.
MySpace. If you go to the old things, they have some really sick photos.
But sometimes they delete your MySpace.
so it's gone already, I think.
Oh yeah.
But I think before it went down, I think I was able to save some really old photos.
That's cool.
Um,
Yeah, my whole page got wiped out.
yeah, me too.
I was mad about
I'm mad about it too because there was a lot of photos that I'll probably never get back.
Dude, that would have like encapsulated
That
the
shit
whole
is
time
sitting on a
period.
server somewhere.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit
You
is
think?
definitely sitting on a server somewhere. Somebody could.
Because you
find
could
it.
still like log in, but everything's different. The whole thing's gone. They kind of made it like Facebook. They
100%.
tried to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, before I finish,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I also want to pay homage to when we did, because you mentioned Seven's Day.
Yeah.
So the pregame wasn't just Umali; it was also Rob from V Raceworks. He used to do the Harlem.
Raceworks. I follow them. I think.
Yeah. So
Damn, Rob V Raceworks. I used to follow him a long time ago because he had Integra.
So he had Integra. He had
a
he's been Honda guy.
CRX.
He CRX. And he was known for his coupe for his SI. He has
Yes.
Did they have a shop?
Yeah,
Does he have a shop?
they still have it now. So they have
Okay.
a shop in the city, and then they have one. I think it's in Massachusetts.
And it's like retail parts, right?
Yeah,
Like,
retail parts, yeah.
Yeah, like Honda stuff.
yeah, but
yeah.
back in the day, because he was from Harlem, they used to do the Harlem meet. So like when Seven's Day now goes to Harlem, and they take the photos under the
Yeah.
arches. If you actually read the description, they pay homage to the Harlem meet. That's
Oh.
so even before Seven's Day did it, we actually decided the pregame for Weckfest was part of our cruise because we paid homage by going to Harlem. But it was really Rob that started that whole meet back then, And a lot of these guys now, like Umali, Rob. I mean, Rob's still in the game, but he's also has his family, so it's a little bit different now. Like we're not kids where we could go and do takeover meets,
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and we kind of leave that to like the newer generation because obviously a lot of people are doing a lot of stuff now.
Yeah, they got a new definition for takeover meets.
Yeah, nah, we're takeover meets now. I don't mess with that stuff. Man.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So,
Any
that's
questions,
how-
Frankie?
Yeah, we probably do have questions. We post up a questionnaire on Instagram.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, but yeah, I just want to talk about Seven's Day because I know you were involved with that
excited, man.
stuff.
I
And
love
yeah,
Seven's
so
Day.
you're going to be there.
100%.
Okay. So, I mean, I feel like it's going to be a good one.
I think so.
My car's running. What about you, Frankie? Oh wait.
Yeah, I'll be driving someone else's car probably. If Miyagi lets me drive his car. Miyagi, I'm trying to get him to come to the actual event, but you know how it is. Oh, we should tell Wags to come too.
Dude, we're gonna all pull up, kitted
we
up.
try to convince AJ to come. That would be crazy.
Dude, all right, we're meeting up here. Hurry up.
Yeah.
I've actually already been organizing something.
Have you talked to AJ?
No, not yet.
Talk to AJ. Maybe he'll listen to you.
Riley's coming up.
Oh yeah.
Oh, from Roadstar. Yeah, Riley.
We have a customer that's picking up an R34 here. He lives in Chicago, I think. He's picking the car up because he just bought it. He's bringing it here for Chris to do a multi-point inspection and an oil change. And then he's like, I told him, I was like, it's Seven's Day. He's like, oh, yeah, I'll go to that too.
That's it.
and then I'll drive
That's
it home.
pretty sick.
To
Yeah,
Chicago.
and then he's going to drive it home.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
sick.
dope.
I was like, okay, that works
Wait, I
out.
want to see all the faction boys together. Let's go.
Yeah, we need to get AJ. That's the key. All right.
Faction boys. I used to love when you guys had the matching cars.
Like that.
Yeah.
That's
Like
not
that.
me. I don't have that. We're new generation faction. Over
Yeah,
here.
they're
Yeah?
the new generation.
Is it still matching though?
No,
Nah.
no,
Bro,
no.
that
But I feel
that
like
thing
the
was sickest
styles-
shit ever, man.
Yeah.
I feel like the styles are matching, and I think that's even cooler.
Yeah, we wanted to do that this time around. It's the whole matching car thing in the drift community. It kind of gets annoying sometimes. I hate to say that because I don't want to. It's not that I don't want to. I'm
Yeah,
not,
just fucking said it.
I want people to still do that. Just for me, I was like, I don't, because you know what happens is like the cars look so similar
Yeah.
that you can't even.
You can't sell.
Yeah, you're like
Yeah.
it just looks like a gray blob. Like
I guess, but like I'm looking at the photo, and you got one with like the different
yeah.
front ends, and you got one that's a coupe and a hatch.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's so.
It's
dope.
like when there was me and Justin, and it was like the pair of cars. That was okay. Then you got Scott, and there's another coupe, and it's like, okay, that's cool for a bit. But then it was just like, and then we had an S14 once Chet was on our team. So we had S14. There has to be a photo somewhere of all of us like lined up. But
That's sick.
I was like, you know what? Let's do different colors that complement each other, and then the vinyl will look similar.
That's dope too.
yeah, that's the new plan. And then like little things like the engine bays will be the same.
Right.
You know, stuff like that. All right, let me see these questions. Is it here, Malcolm? Am I blind? Oh, there it is. Now, we get a lot of wild questions in here, so I'm going to sort through some of these.
They're funny sometimes.
Just start with a wild one. All right, what's
Sure.
your favorite dinosaur?
That's kind of easy because I like the T-Rex.
Okay.
You got short arms. I got short arms, but you know.
No, that's a good one. Because last time, like 3 of these dudes picked herbivores. I was like, what the
Herbivore?
hell's
Nah.
going on here?
A bronchiosaurus.
See?
Nah,
has a
bro.
fucking
Yeah,
long
I was
neck.
like Velociraptor.
and you will
That's the
never be
dinosaur.
able to eat the things that I eat.
RB or Jay-Z? I guess this is a question for everyone, but
Oh well, for me, Jay-Z. But not, and sorry guys, I know you guys are like,
no.
Like,
We're
you sound
neutral. We're SRs. We're SR.
okay,
fans
yes,
in
that's
here.
okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. But like, I like Jay-Z because I don't know, I just like the way they sound better.
The
Yeah.
sound,
Yeah, I think it sounds
Yeah, we all know Carl wants.
that shit make my ears horny. That shit sounds so good.
Chris,
Oh
what
my
about
God.
you? RB or Jay-Z? Ooh.
SR20.
All right.
If I had to pick one,
I know what he's gonna say.
it's gonna be the Jay-Z.
I was wrong.
What about you, Franklin?
More reliable.
Yeah, it's just expensive.
Oh, what about me?
Yeah.
Depends on the car.
That's true.
If it's a Toyota, Jay-Z. If it's a Nissan, I want an RB in it.
Yeah, true.
If you could only buy one manufacturer car brand, what would it be? I guess like for the rest of your life or something. Like what kind of question?
Like
is this?
Recaro doesn't make downpipes.
What are you talking about?
Like
No, I mean like what? Like Nissan,
like
Toyota.
Nissan.
oh,
Like if you could only pick one. Okay. All right.
God, dude.
We all know what you're gonna say.
All right, for me, I
Lexus.
mean, it's gonna sound kind of obvious. Well, maybe not, but I love Honda, man.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, 'cause
I
you-
know what
you-
this guy's gonna say.
You do have a Type R right now.
I do, but like the history, you know, like growing up with it,
Yeah,
you know,
it's like a.
the way it feels.
It's an
Even though you're gonna give up that all-wheel drive.
I don't care about all-wheel drive.
Damn.
I think all-wheel drive is overrated.
this new Honda shit.
I gotta race you in my cars then.
Let's do it.
All right.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Yes. What is
Wait,
your
actually? Hold up, before what type of racing though?
drag
Straight
race?
line.
We're drag racing.
Frankie's
racing?
putting a stroker in.
Then I might need all-wheel drive.
I got that turbo right there. It's some old shit. Don't worry about it.
Wait, which car is that? That's gonna go in that car?
Yeah. It's Mitsubishi 20G.
All right. Oh, I might be done.
He calculated it in his
Yeah.
head real quick.
Yeah.
Gotta
It was like-
Yeah.
Now let's do it.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, let's do it.
That'll be my first race.
Wow.
There it is.
No, I'm serious. Let's do it.
I'm down.
Okay.
FL5 Type R versus a stroker SR, dude.
I'm gonna be trying though.
I hope you do.
Okay. All right. Like I'm gonna be. I've been talking about
Bro.
this before. Like
Kenny,
I
it's
was
not
like,
like Kenny has shitty tires on that car either. Like,
Nah, it's
dude,
not
that
drag
thing.
race. Yeah, the car is not made to launch.
yeah.
It will launch
Yeah.
though.
Huh? It will launch.
Frankie's got a.
I'll make
launch
it. I'll
that
make it
foot.
work. I'll make it work.
Yeah.
What is your dream drive? One car, one road/track.
Wait,
That's
if I
kinda
wait. By
cool.
the way, one manufacturer.
Yeah,
Porsche.
No, it's Toyota. Come
No,
on.
it's not. If it's funded, is it funded by anybody else?
No, it's you have to pay for it.
Okay, the cheapest one.
Toyota.
Toyota.
I like this question. What is your dream drive? One car, one road or track?
Wow.
I kind of like that question a lot.
That's like a really good. Who the fuck asked that?
Tyler say what?
Sick.
What?
Oh, what's up, dude?
Yeah.
He's the one with the 4-lug car.
Yeah, his car's sick.
Yeah, it's
That's probably one of my favorite questions we
Yeah.
ever got on this podcast.
So, okay, this is gonna sound cliche, but I definitely want a Porsche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want whatever car I want. I want it to turn, and I want it to inspire confidence.
Okay.
You know, but still have like a driving experience.
Give me more specific than that.
So I'd never driven a Porsche before, but I dream about driving it. So my dream, like a GT3 RS, where you could just literally feel the motor. It's like driving VTEC, right?
yeah.
But you feel the motor, and you feel the chassis, and it's so good that it inspires confidence. Because it's like, you know, I drive the Type R, and this car, it inspires you to drive faster. So I took my FK8 to Arden Valley, and I'll never forget the first time I did. I went with this group that goes up there,
Yeah.
like they enjoy driving those mountain roads,
Yeah.
and like I had this moment where I kind of blacked out. And I've never been on this road before. But the thing is, I was following them, so they knew the road,
Yeah.
and the pace that we were going was just like, by the time we were done, everyone was sweating, you know. And we weren't speeding, allegedly, right? Like, I don't wanna get anyone in trouble.
Yep.
But it was such a good pace that, and so the reason I bring that up is the Type R is a good chassis that makes you feel like you could be a good driver. But I want to experience it in like a car that, like a GT3 RS, where
Yeah.
like the motor is like a part of the experience, the transmission. I'm all about feeling, man.
Yeah.
And you know, so
What track or road would you want to go on? with that? I know my answer.
it's gonna sound.
I also know my answer.
I think it's only cliche because I've never been there, but like the Nürburgring.
Yeah,
movies.
you have to. You
Yeah.
have to do it on the
Yeah?
Nürburgring. With that car? Yeah.
Yeah, it's cliche. I've never been there, and obviously I want to drive it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I feel like it's only right.
You're not a Stelvio Pass guy.
I'm just saying, like, that car, I feel like you should be on the Nürburgring.
I would want to be on the Nürburgring, but I'd want to be in a Porsche 930.
Why? Why you
I
do
want
this to me?
I want to die.
yeah, that's a widowmaker right there. Bro.
Yeah.
I want to
What
die.
the
I want to
fuck?
feel that old school turbo technology, just fucking doing nothing but sending that
Carl
car
likes
forward.
every
fast.
Porsche that's not a 911, just in
A
spite of
Porsche
me.
930 is a 911. It's a
930
turbo.
So is it like the old
It's
one?
a turbo
Yeah, it's old,
911
yeah.
G body. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know that one, so it's got to be old.
That's the
Wide.
widowmaker. That's a widowmaker.
Wide. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wide body.
What year is it?
I don't know, 80s and up.
Yeah. It's like
Oh,
80s,
it's a
80s to
80s?
90s.
yeah.
It's a G body 911. Air
Yeah.
cooled turbo.
It's beautiful.
It's wide as fuck. It's
Yeah.
wider than your house.
I got to look that up.
That thing has crazy snap oversteer, man.
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
And it's air cooled, of course.
And it's air cooled
Yeah.
and it's turbo.
That servo is crazy.
I would go nuts.
Trying to go through these questions and not. You know what, Carl?
Don't have to hand me.
Come on.
You're already reading
Come
them,
on.
dude. We're doing
Come
a good
on.
job. Just read them.
Read some questions. for me.
God. Everybody sees my jail pants. Somebody made a comment on it like within 2 seconds of being on here.
Yo, that's bad funny.
Oh, this one's pretty good. That doesn't.
Yeah, now you know my pain.
Yeah. All right. Here.
How bad is it?
They're mainly funny ones, but
They're
that's
just
all right.
funny stuff, ridiculous shit.
Favorite pasta? Like what kind? Spaghetti, ziti, rigatoni,
Oh,
ditalini,
shit.
penne.
I guess penne.
penne.
Yeah, I'm kind of boring.
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's
penne
fine.
or rigatoni. I like
I
either
fuck with
one.
the ditalini. Do you know what that is?
I like angel hair pasta.
Angel hair pasta is the most fucking. Ditalini is funny.
Angel hair pasta is a lot. You get a lot of bulk. That's the best bang for your
Yeah,
buck
but
pasta.
ditalini is easy to scoop up with a spoon, so it could go from plate to mouth quick.
True.
And it's got little holes in it, so then it holds the sauce a little.
Are there any questions in there that hold any like
Like,
value?
real weight. That's probably all.
Yeah, this one. Favorite type of bird?
I don't even know what I would. I feel like I should give a realistic answer here.
Actually, I want a realistic answer from everybody.
Frankie's favorite bird is the chicken. 'Cause it's delicious.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
You're
yo,
not
that's A good
wrong.
one.
Yeah. Chicken. Are there different types of chicken?
I don't think so.
Okay. So it's just chicken.
That's mad funny.
Yeah, just good old American rooster.
I'd probably just go with chicken for my answer then, because
Damn it,
they do
Frankie.
taste good. It locked it.
Yeah.
Here, I'll look at it.
I mean, the rest of it was like, you know.
You didn't
other
see
ones.
anything that was good?
No.
All right. Throw it.
I wanted.
Throw it.
I wanted to.
Stork.
I wanted to definitely harp on the fact that Kenny's also Filipino.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like the rest of us, and it's nice to see like somebody who's a little older than you who's Filipino, doing cool shit.
Did you just
thank you.
include me in that? I feel honored.
Well, yeah, technically, we like.
By association.
Yeah.
He said
Uh,
like the rest.
honorary.
He said like the rest of us right there.
If you look at the
Oh,
if you
wow,
look at
that's
the
cool.
video again, I said like this.
Oh fuck.
Like I didn't go full circle. I said
All right. Well,
like that.
Bro.
whatever.
But thank you so much, Kenny, for coming. I
Yeah,
don't know if
appreciate
there's
you guys for
anything you want to
having me.
plug out there of yours, but
Dude, do you still do those meets at Shake Shack?
So I'm actually meeting with GM tomorrow,
Dude,
just to finalize the dates.
I'm hungry.
this whole
All right.
time Frankie was like, "Is
So-
that why they do that meet over there?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Because I
I'm
found
sure-
out where you lived.
I'm
and I
sure-
was like,
I'm sure
Is
Kenny-
that why they do that meet
I'm sure.
over
I'm sure
there?"
Kenny has some sort of relationship with that person over there. You know, like
So the only reason that we do it there is one, there's a new GM, but she's really nice. She used to be the manager, so she still works with us. But I did have a GM that was very like flexible with us.
Okay.
And like Westchester, you go to Jersey, you go to Connecticut, there's like all these cool meets. But we have a lot of people in Westchester, and there was never a cool meet, so we always drove far.
Yeah.
So when Shake Shack said that they're willing to do it, we figured let's do one over there.
Dude, it was fun, and it's fun for us because it actually is kind of a cool drive. I mean, you get to go over Tappan Zee Bridge.
Yeah.
not for
so-
me. Well, I gotta
For
go
you,
over
it's
the,
kinda
I gotta
far.
go over the Tappan Zee, but
Yeah,
you know,
it's definitely further.
I do want to shout out Mikey because Mikey, he helps me a lot with Milkshake Monday as far as like the dates and just help coordinating. And if I'm late, he's always there to make sure.
Mikey
So-
helps me with everything.
Yeah, Mikey's
Who's
a good guy,
Mikey?
man.
Mike Alamone.
Okay, I know that name.
You definitely do.
Yeah.
You would know him by face. He has a ponytail now, though.
And the
Mikey
Laurel.
helps me with everything.
The key
dude.
is what
Life,
car does he have?
budgeting, G35. It was a G35 originally, blue,
Okay. I know that name.
turboed.
Yeah,
Now
the
it's a
Laurel.
Laurel.
Yeah.
So it's Milkshake Monday.
Yeah, Milkshake Monday. And also my boy Andrew Stretch, he also helps me with that. So
Okay.
these two guys,
Most delicious car meet I ever went to.
they,
Hey,
you know, and it's designed, and we're going to go back to invite only.
Okay.
So a couple of times we did it where we posted the flyer for like 2 days,
and it was like.
and people are doing like burnouts in front,
Oh
man.
my
Like,
god, dude.
yeah. So back to invite only, back to like only people that are good people. Bring your kids, bring your wives, come
Yeah.
through with the family,
side chicks.
side chicks if you want, But we come there with the intention of just hanging out. and
Yeah,
relax.
not getting crazy.
Nah, man. We
Yeah.
want to bring quality cars and people.
Like that Supra that was there when we went. You remember, Chris? The green one, right?
No, the Nardo gray one.
Oh, Nardo Gray,
Was
Khalid.
it gray? Was it
Yeah,
gray?
my boy.
Justin's?
No, it was stock. The car I'm talking about was stock. Yeah.
Oh man, let me tell you, he's a very nice guy.
Yeah.
And that car is pristine, man.
Dude, pristine Mark
Yeah.
IV Supra.
Yeah,
Like-
he'll be out there again.
Dude, that was crazy. I was like, this car's brand new.
Yeah.
It didn't even have a lot of miles on it, I don't think.
Nah, it's like 37,000, something stupid.
I
man.
brought my S13 to that lot before.
Yeah.
That's why I know only good cars go there.
No, it's
Only
it's
good
true.
cars.
My IS hasn't been there.
When we keep it invite only.
Nice.
All right, well, hopefully we get the invite. And
You
hopefully,
guys, we'll think about it.
yeah, you think about it. And hopefully,
We run into you at 7th Day.
yeah, 7th day. I'm sure
So
we'll see.
definitely, but yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to that.
You. Yeah. Chris, I think this time we should go to the city.
I said that.
You pussy.
I said that.
So
I'll go. I can't sell Kenny the car.
Oh,
oh,
dude.
I don't
I'll-
know, bro.
This is what Chris has been doing. Yo, let's go to 7th day, and then he just goes to Englewood or whatever, and then leaves Tenafly, wherever it is.
All right, so hopefully I don't blow up the spot. But what do you guys think about going to Harlem a little earlier? Because if you leave with the lot,
I'll do whatever you guys want to do.
I'm down with that too because
Oh.
my car is.
That's the reason Chris never wanted to go there because he
Because-
says it gets crazy.
crazy. So now, damn, this is like on the podcast.
Nah,
Like,
we'll just talk about this
yeah,
later. We're about to
maybe
end the
we'll-
podcast.
yeah.
Sorry, everybody. Thank you guys so much for listening. We've had Kenny on the pod, and it was amazing. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for the
you mind
support.
if I shout out my YouTube real quick?
Oh,
For
yeah,
sure.
yeah, of course.
The Racing Team of Real Estate. Just do a search. Cars
Racing
and
team
real-
of real estate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
There you
that's
go.
the name of my team.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And then
thank you guys so
Central.
much for listening, and check out Central on
Yeah, we'll have the
Instagram
links
and
and the
YouTube. Just type it
everything.
in on Google, and you'll see a bunch of cool shit.
Yeah, spell it.
SNTRL.
Yeah.
Get it correct. Thank you guys so much. This has been episode 54.
Oh, damn.
4. Yeah.
Five?
Malcolm.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're done. We're done. We've been done. You're still worried about that girl that was crying and sitting there. She's coming for you.
That was dope, guys.
Oh man.
I enjoyed it, bro. I know.